So y'all's comments are just killing us right now. This is been entertaining. Thank you, chat, for being here. All right. Welcome everybody to the Initiative Order, and welcome to Vault. This is a Fallout RPG set in the Texas Commonwealth in 2177 using the 2D20 system by Modifius, who coincidentally enough, hey, it's Cyber Monday, and they do have sales going on right now where most of their PDFs are 50% off. So if you want to get the Vault PDF and play in the Wasteland yourself, you can go get that right now. They also have some really cool Fallout terrain STLs that are on sale for 50% off, which I don't have a 3D printer, but I have some friends that do, so I might have to bribe them into doing things for me. Because they have some really
Marcus.
Cool it's Marcus. It's all Marcus's fault I don't have a 3D printer. Damn it, Marcus. My name is April Hill. I'm the overseer for this campaign. You can find me at stiletto_assassin on Instagram and stiletto DM on Twitter, and talking to people on the Modifius socials because I'm the social manager for them, or not social, the community manager for them. So yay. All right, before we jump into tonight's game, I'm going to run through some announcements real quick and then give some shout out to the players. Of course, we've got our sponsors, Session Zero Clothing, who's been all over all kinds of cons lately. They make D&D inspired streetwear, and you can use the code ORDER at checkout for 15% off. Norse Foundry Dice, they make beautiful artisan dice, and you can use the code TIO15 at checkout for 15% off. Roaming Player Gear by our own GotDM, and you can use the Carnaby 20 code for 20% off the Dice Tower Tray Combo set. As well as Mithril Armory, who make the beautiful little 10-hedral foldable metal dice puzzles that are great stocking stuffers and little gifts, and they also make some pretty cool dice and a lot of cool D&D clothing and whatnot, so check them out. And of course, if you want to donate some bits and subs to promote to support the channel, we really appreciate that. It helps us make wonderful streams, and give us the ability to donate to some great causes. Like we do have our holiday weekend coming up, where we will be raising money for St. Jude Children's Hospital. We will have several one-shots for that all weekend long, and of course we just had Deep Breath, that one shot. If you missed it, it was amazing. You're gonna want to check that out. It's on our VOD right now here on Twitch. I don't know if it's been uploaded to YouTube yet, but be checking for that, our socials for that. I will drop a link when it's on YouTube, but you can check it out on Twitch right now. So, and of course, if you enjoy watching us every week, every Monday night here on Twitch, and you want to donate and tip all these wonderful players, performers, we appreciate that. And you can do so through Ko-Fi, our Ko-Fi link down below. All right, now that we got our announcements out of the way, where is my mouse? Wrong mouse. All the mice. There we go. Okay. Yes, it's like 2 mice. It's been a minute. I haven't got to like run all this in a minute. So, all right, let's meet our wonderful players. We'll start with Ash.
Hi guys, I'm Utahime. I'm a cosplayer, streamer, and TTRPG performer. You can find me on the socials of the medias at Utahime Cosplay, and that's on Facebook, Instagram, here on Twitch, where I occasionally stream on my own channel, a variety of games, but mainly a lot of Yakuza and Dead by Daylight. And then you can also catch me on Twitter at Brianna DeCoster, and I play Ash, your emo super mutant. That's the best way to sum her up, I guess. Who likes to smash and bash anything in her path. And yeah. Are we supposed to be doing the backstory recap now? Or we'll do
that after the after the intro. Yeah.
Just had to make sure.
Yes, no, thank you. And of course, Sugar Cyrus.
Oh hey, what can I say? It's Jay Casual. You can find me on all social media at Just2Casual and Casual Creativity over on Twitch. Variety streamer, entertainer, all-around storyteller, and the writer and designer creator of Deep Breath, the anime-inspired TTRPG, among many other things that I do, and you'll see me soon at Emerald City Comic Con in Seattle for this coming weekend. And I am playing Sugar Cyrus, the rock star to our own dreams and hopefully bringing passion, magic, and love to everyone who needs it, particularly themselves.
I can't wait to do the recaps. I'm so excited. And Peggy Sue, because of everything that happened.
Yeah, howdy everybody. Taryn Hackett, also known as Valrook across the socials. I am a generally creative human eldritch entity and TTRPG performer, as well as a GM here on the Initiative Order. Every other Sunday, I GM Cult Divinity Lost, our homebrew campaign where I lead a group of lost souls beyond the veil into mind-altering situations. And then beyond that, every other Tuesday over on DM Screenings channel, doing the Echeron Expeditions. And that's what I do, as well as dice making, Umbral Oculus Dice. That's UO_dice on the Instagram, link in bio for shop and merch. I do have a sale coming up in about a week or two. Just finishing up all the inking of those babies just in time for holidays. So yeah, that's the thing. And I'm playing Peggy Sue. And she's got a grudge that she doesn't even know she has. Because meta.
We're getting poor Gordon. Yanni's never gonna live that down. I feel like we need to have Yanni guest on just for
just for that, and then
Gordon's
Peggy's
still
gonna be very.
We don't even know if Gordon's still alive.
Is he though, or will he be? I don't know. We'll find out.
It's been 5 years. I don't know, or a little less than that now. Okay, Marcus Cole, who everybody blames for everything.
It's my life story.
Hashtag.
My life story. Hi, my name is Justin. I do play Mr. Marcus Cole. Hope everyone had a terrific Thanksgiving. Got the chance to spend time with family and everything, unlike probably last year. So, and I'm looking forward to see how we get out of this mess we find ourselves in with the. I'm still gonna go with aliens, but we'll see.
Fine, I got this.
Yeah, you already got enough and exploded everybody.
Also,
Not
we
everybody.
all fell off the roof.
This is true. I was not exploded. Y'all got exploded.
I landed on like ash or something, so I didn't like hit the ground.
Yeah.
Maybe Ash's thighs stopped some of the blow of the floors of the ground. I don't know.
Would you say thick thighs save lives?
Dang,
Definitely.
I couldn't unmute
Truer
fast
statement.
enough.
Truer statement.
I
Never
couldn't
spoken.
unmute fast enough.
Thick thighs definitely saved Marcus's life. Yep.
Correct.
Okay, and of course we've got Tipper.
Hey everybody, I'm my voice is going in and out because I'm recovering from the holidays. This is a bit much for me. So bear with me. I'm Alicia Marie. I'm Alicia Marie Body on all social media, and I'm a custom artist, an RPG performer, and I love this campaign. I like Fallout, so it's been a lot of fun. Tonight I'm playing Tipper, and she's sort of a homebrew, but she's not human. That's all you need to know. That's all you need to know.
She can digest food and process it now, we think.
Now she can digest food.
Everybody poops.
Everybody poops.
That's the important takeaway from everything.
It's a
And
robot,
somewhere
but
out
does it
there-
poop?
Exactly.
And somewhere out there is a Miss Handy unit that
Somewhere.
is so jealous of Tipper.
Of Tipper's ability to poop.
I have met Peggy and Sugar. Sorry, it's just so cool.
That's crazy. Peggy and Sugar have met Stella, but has never
have
talked about
no
Stella
fucking idea.
to Tipper ever, which
Meta-
is amazing.
But see, now if I talk about her, it's meta. But I'm gonna do it anyways.
See what happens. Okay. All right. So yeah, all the wonderful people. Oh yeah, and Alicia was just in a cool stream. They just did a Cthulhu stream. So did y'all finish that?
A
Or is
lot
there
of
one
stuff
more?
I'm doing. It's on my socials. I just don't have the wherewithal to bring it up now, but it's on my socials. I do a lot of cool stuff. I'm very thankful. So yeah, my voice just needs to stay with me the entire night and not disappear. That's what I'm paying for. Jeez. Ugh.
Yeah. All right. Well, everybody grab a drink, grab a pal,
Yeah.
and get a little wasted.
Hashtag blame Marcus. And all of that. Oh, what?
We blame Marcus for all that. Oh, yeah. Agreed. It all leads back. All roads somehow lead back to Marcus. Bad guy. All right. So if you've been watching the past couple of weeks, you do know that we have been doing some origin story flashbacks, because the last time we were on Vault, we saw the Wastelanders get into the Rattlesnake Raider camp, and they were confronting Scorpius, and Sugar decided to explodey boom boom the package, which the blast of it sent everybody except Peggy and Lady Luck, who were waiting outside, being little snipers. It sent everybody else blasted off of the roof of one of the shacks, and they were all currently on their backs. And then they see fire from the explosion. They see beams of light and flashes of metal from the sky, and they see next to them raiders being vaporized. But Scorpius wasn't touched. One of his scorpions, I think, did get vaporized, but the other one lived. That he had very large scorpion pet. But while they all were on their backs and they see their lives flashing before their eyes, we're going to do a little recap of kind of like what they lived through, what they saw. Ash, if you would tell us a little bit about your backstory, we'll go round.
Yeah, so pretty much the backstory summed up Ash's very sad her life origins. Basically, they were conducting in vitro fertilization at Vault 42, which was the vault that was located in Impact, Texas, surrounded by tons of radioactive materials. Something that basically, if you are any being at all, you will not survive if you try to go into that area. They were trying to test which hybrids could handle the FEV, the forced evolutionary virus, through the experimentation. So usually any successful subjects were raised by the handies and AI that were in that particular vault. The subjects basically were, from a very young age, just experimental lab rats. Every day was spent with constant tests, if it was physical, emotional, mental, stamina. Ash was one of the subjects that actually excelled in most of these tests conducted. She was one of the oldest, but she wasn't alone. She did have two individuals who she considered, I guess that's the closest thing to family that you can get, and that was Pinhead and Lefty. They were also some of the oldest who were some of the successful subjects in this vault. And they all bonded from their desire to escape this living hell from being in this vault. And they decided to plan a coup. And in doing so, they made some different plans. Ash was able to get some information through some files that kind of revealed what the purpose, or a little bit of the purpose of the experimentations that were going on, and also to the layout of the vault so they could plan their escape. And in doing so, they were able to kind of get some of the tools that they needed sneaking around, and they decided to make it happen. And after planning that for weeks, yeah, let's just say the escape did not go as planned. They tried to get some other of the people in the vault to the kids to go along with them, but even their manpower wasn't enough to kind of survive the situations. But who knows? We don't know if some of them did get out. We know that there was one particular person who was able to make it out, Lefty, but Pinhead went back to sacrifice themselves for Lefty and Ash to give them a chance to survive. Whether or not Pinhead survived, we don't know. It could be. Hopefully, fingers crossed. But basically, after barely making it out with her life, she was rescued by, I don't know, could it have been an apparition? Could it have been an alien? We don't know, but it does explain the markings on her face, the origin of those as well. So that is Ash's mysterious backstory.
That's so much fun. So yeah, and you can check all of these out on VOD, of course, on YouTube and here on Twitch. So yeah, it was so emotional. Hashtag no more knives. Okay, and Sugar, formerly known as Calvin Harris.
The artist formerly known as Calvin Harrison, was not always a ghoul. Was once a young teenage male who dreamed of playing music, living on the Pacific coast where military was the only way for any man to grow up. So with a few dollars to his name, dreams in the sky, and a guitar on his back, young Calvin decided to run away from home and chase that passion, finding himself at a music festival, scared, nervous, and terrified of what options come, encounters a group of musicians who treated him not just like friends, but almost like family immediately, where he met Mark, Victoria, and Ashley. In that time, they reminded him that following dreams means a lot more than almost anything. Following what makes you happy is worth the price of taking the risk. So much so, when you find yourself falling in love with Ashley. Those two start to enjoy their lives together, playing music, building their band, Paper Mache Hearts, living between the music, the rhythm, and the sounds of joy everywhere they went, eventually making a deal with their old friend. They decided to become legends in music until the best friend of Calvin betrayed him, an abuser of many ways, a toxic individual, ruining Calvin's life. But they found a way to come back. Paper Mache Hearts grew stronger, bolder, more united, until the Battle of the Bunker, where they were to perform in a vault. The brand new vaults to be open, a beautiful opportunity. And it was then that Ashley revealed, though not directly, that she was pregnant, carrying Calvin's child. And in Calvin's pocket, he held the engagement ring to propose to his girlfriend here at the Battle of the Bunker, just before the nukes hit, destroying the vault, desolating the area. A heartbroken, skin-torn, soul-shredded individual left the vault. Calvin had died in there, and all that remained was this ghoulish form, a name that his girlfriend constantly called him. Sugar. It's the only name he could hold on to. But a piece of hope, a folded paper mache heart and a dollar bill, letting him know that love might still exist. And so, the sun rose another day, and Sugar Cyrus was born.
I hate all these stories. I love them and hate them so much. They're so sad. But not, like, they're good. You won't want to miss that one too. All of these. Okay. Oh God, Peggy Sue, tell us what happened with your flashback. So of course, Peggy Sue wasn't knocked on her ass by the explosion.
Nope. So
But
yeah, so Peggy, seeing the flames erupt from the explosion, basically just gets sent into panic mode from her PTSD and begins reliving her life pre-adventuring, which is a super happy story. I don't know why all of y'all are so sad. It was just nothing happened. It was great. So Peggy grew up out in an agave farm down in Laredo with her dad, her uncle, her meemaw, her mom, and her twin little sisters. Of course, there were a bunch of hired hands on and off coming in and out of the farm. Her daddy always did a good job managing all of any raiders, anybody else, by always paying them off, giving them liquor. And it went that way for a long time. Eventually, new group of hired hands come in, and of course, one of them's a dead looker. Respects Peggy's attitude, even encourages it, and Peggy can't help herself but fall head over heels for the smooth-talking, good-looking guy that her daddy's not too fond of. Time passes, and lo and behold, they decide they want to get married. Well, on the wedding day, vows are exchanged. Her daddy, of course, officiates, wearing the dress that her mama and her meemaw made for her. It is then revealed as her husband, Charlie, I forgot his last name. It's not a good name. Says something along the lines of time for some cowboy shit, and shot her daddy in front of her. And then as she was carried upstairs into the home, her entire family was slaughtered so that they could take possession of her tequila distillery, which of course was Dos Jaimes. So after all of this occurred, Peggy woke in the middle of the night. She went to her meemaw's room where there were a bunch of raiders sleeping, leaving Charlie in the room. She took her meemaw's locket and a folded family picture. She took her daddy's hat and his gun. She's wearing the bracelet that her sisters made her and the dress that her mama made her. And of course, she goes downstairs, opens a secret store of high quality liquor, pours it throughout the house, takes a bottle of it, grabs her Uncle Barney's Zippo lighter with his initial inscribed on the front of it and his pack of cigarettes, takes a chair out front and takes a couple drags of the cigarette, throws it into the house and starts a fire and patiently awaits and shoots anybody that tries to come out. Up until, of course, Charlie makes his way out, begging for help, and Peggy doesn't say anything. She just pours the rest of that liquor on him, drops her newly lit cigarette on him, and walks away. Hearing only the rumbling of flames and the screaming of a burning Charlie. And that was when she began her life as a bounty hunter, because she had to clean up the wasteland. That way she could go home with her family someday, but she couldn't do it till all that was put to rest.
Speaking of that fire, Marcus.
Yeah, speaking of that fire, Marcus.
Why don't you give us a little recap of what happened with your flashback backstory?
Sure. I'm not sure how I tie in at all, but yeah, I can get going. So what Marcus was recalling was multiple years, not quite as far back as Sugar, but he was remembering several years back, while he was still with the Rangers, and he was traveling with Monty, Yolanda, Gordon, and himself, obviously. They were going to a small town. I think it may have just been mentioned. I'm not sure. On their way there,
it was just outside of Laredo.
Yeah, now I forget the creature that we were going to look into to help the town with.
Mirelurks. They had Mirelurks coming from the nearby lake.
Yeah, so we were heading there to assist. Encountered a few, dealt with them, and then we saw smoke in the distance, and so we traveled there to see what was going on, and we found that there was a farm house with apparently no survivors. Although we did discover one survivor that after I tried to talk my friend Gordon out of it, non-verbally of course. We had just silent communication. I just didn't we know anything about him? Why would we resurrect him? Obviously. However, Gordon, being stubborn, went ahead and did it. I think much to Marcus's objection. So he rezzed that person who I don't think has any bearing on the story though, so it's not really important.
Not for your story. Not for your story.
Correct. And that, bottom line, that's kind of the point. So, anyways, they head back to town where Yolanda and Monty came and picked up the body while Gordon and Marcus continue scouting around. Didn't find anything other than some shitty tequila. No vodka, unfortunately. We then got there. We received a telegram that Marcus's family ranch might have been attacked. Wasn't clear. However, Gordon and Marcus set out to find out what exactly happened. Once they arrived, they found that unfortunately Marcus's family ranch had been decimated, with everyone that he really knew killed, which was bad news for Marcus. He pushed Gordon away, and he kind of began his little bit of lonely island journey. And he buried the remains, at least what he could find by himself, did all that kind of stuff. And then he began to formulate his Beatrice-like revenge plan of what exactly he was going to do. And then as he was sharing this plan with Gordon, Bridget arrived and told him that vacation was up. It's time to go back to work. And with no proof or anything, obviously it couldn't have been the Raiders that did this, so we need to buck up and move on. Marcus didn't agree with this. After some words were shared, Marcus resigned from the Rangers, giving her his, I think he gave it to her, maybe he gave it to Gordon, I can't remember, but gave away his badge. And then he set off alone on a drinking, drug, and death dealing filled 2 years of soul searching. Yeah. And then he eventually, Gordon caught back up with him and offered him a road back to society. That being with the Lone Star Apostle, became a courier for a little bit before he ran into some other individuals with like-minded mindsets and joined up with them.
Interesting. Saffron's the worst.
Oh, what did I say? Yolanda? Bridget?
Yeah, you can say Yolanda.
Saffron. That's one.
Same thing, same person.
Also, we realized Marcus really can't see anything because, God, she was like evil back then. Didn't see it at all.
Okay, and then of course, Tipper. We got to glimpse a little bit of Tipper's backstory, kind of, during our first one shot, but it was kind of like somebody from Tipper's past was in that one. We get to learn a little bit more about Tipper and that person. So, yeah.
Exactly. Well, okay, I'm gonna move my mic forward so you guys can hear me in case my voice is like scratchy. It's just too much talking, too many family stuff this week, and my voice went. Basically, we found out that there was, so y'all know that Tipper is AI. Most of you know that she was created by a very smart engineer by the name of Jared and Gil. But some of you may not know that she was created in the exact likeness of his beloved wife, Teresa, whatever it is. Yeah, Tara's, you know what? Because I'm in love with Stephen R. Donaldson's books. That's what Terrace comes from. But it's Therese is fine too. Both are fine. So basically, Tipper was created in her image because she was snatched, missing, etc. She has a lot of stuff she was involved in the past that was kind of dirty, and it all sort of caught up with her. But one thing we found out in Tipper's backstory that we did not know was that there was actually an AI that Jaredin created to help him around the house and stuff. And her name was Stella. And she was more of a robot, but she had a really cool sort of adaptation where she could project an image of herself that was human, even though she looked like Rosie, the robot from the Jetsons, basically. So, I mean, essentially, you know, Tipper had a sister, even though he created Stella to sort of just be like a maid. Stella was, I don't know, Jaredin just likes to make robots that are obsessed with him. I don't know. Stella was super obsessed with him. She had a sort of coming around where when she realized what Jaredin was creating, which was like an illegal Generation 7 artificial intelligence robot, because previous to Tipper, there was only like what Generation 3, I think they're up to. Most robots, most AI look like AI, but he was like endeavoring to create a robot AI that looks and functions just like a human, like Blade Runner out here and everything. Watch that. So there's a lot of friction in the episode between Stella, Tipper, where Stella sort of had to like come to terms with what Jaredin was creating, and that this new version was going to be a totally like an advanced version of a robot. So there was a lot of like back and forth between Stella and Tipper that was kind of fun. And then in the end, we realized that, you know, Stella really did see Tipper as a little sister. But where we left off, which is the most interesting thing, Jaredin was kind of putting last finishing touches on Tipper when he heard something upstairs, and Tipper was sort of kept downstairs in like the secret basement bunker thing that would be really difficult to find because it was super top secret thing he was doing in general. And Stella came down and would help sometimes too. Well, he heard something upstairs. He threw a cloth over Tipper, runs upstairs, locks the gate, and then leaves. We don't really know how long Tipper and Stella were down in that basement waiting, but it was probably like 100 years. But to them, they don't know. At one point, Stella realized that she had to leave. She's like, you know, maybe one day. Oh no, wait, I'm lying. Stella was locked upstairs, but Tipper was like, she didn't have a way to get downstairs into the bunker. That's right. I was like, wait a minute, why didn't Stella take her with her? Damn it, bitch. Just kidding.
Y'all were locked.
Wait a goddamn minute of
the bunker, and she had the new key code or the new key to get you.
That's right. I was about to jump out the TV screen and beat somebody's ass. But Stella realized, I have to get out. I'm gonna leave and go see if I can try to find my creator. So she left Tipper. Tipper could hear, finally decided to uncloth herself, get up, move around. She fell off the table. She found the key, and that's where she found like a little like.
There was a big storm and it knocked the generator out. And
that's right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Basically, so Tipper was able to get out, and that's where she was like, Stella. And because of the power outage, there was some things that affected her memory, which is why she could not remember what Jaredin looked like. She could not remember what his name was. So she could remember what he looked like because she had like a photograph of him that was sitting on the table where he went, that he used when he was working on Tipper's looks, I guess, whatever. So she knew what he looked like, but she didn't know his name. And that was because everything went when the electrical storm happened. So basically where we ended in my little solo episode was Tipper came upstairs, out the hatch. Where the heck is everybody? Sup? Looked outside, the front door, was like, what the heck happened here? Picks up her knapsack full of stuff she could fit in it anywhere. And then she sets off toward. And then the next thing we see is her coming into a big city where there's a fight in like an octagon sort of tent thing. And there's a large ash skin toned blue haired woman about to step into the ring. There it is.
And then they met. It's like Tipper met Utaime's first character 100 years ago, and then she met Utaime's new character 100 years after that.
Right.
It was
We be
funny.
I don't know what you're
retcon.
I hate robots, with the exception of Tipper. I don't know what you're talking about.
So yes, all of these amazing backstories. If you missed them, please check them out on D&D. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun getting to live through the wonderful backstories that everyone wrote, and really get to play in them and let them be in their character and their character's tragedy and transformation and history. So yeah. All right, but like we said, where we left off, they were all, except for Peggy, laying on their backs after the explosion at the Rattlesnake Raider camp. Sugar stands up first to confront, sees all these raiders going dead, like dying around them, and Sugar gets up, confronts Scorpius, who has Big John standing over him with a gun. Big John is wanting to shoot Scorpius. Sugar makes a couple threats. And yeah, that's kind of where he left off.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if I can pull this up. Start here. All right, is everybody? Nope, everybody's not in the right spot.
Yes.
Let me move
Yep.
around. Sugar, Peggy. Oh, no, Ash and Marcus. That's what.
Yes.
All right, but we were still in initiative order. Technically, nobody's really in combat right now, but I mean, you were, and we're not. But Ash, what in particular would you like to do? Sugar, you have this ringing. Ash, you have this ringing in your ears, and your vision's very blurred, and just all these memories come flooding back to you, and the wind has been knocked out of you, and this is, and then you see Sugar walking over, and you see Big John holding a gun, standing over Scorpius, and you see Sugar yelling at Big John, and Scorpius is laying on the ground, and he's very out of it as well.
In that moment, Ash is trying to come to. She's kind of seeing Sugar's figure and over by Big John, and seeing that kind of play out, but she's still trying to make sense of what just happened, and her vision kind of starts to clear up more, and she's still laying on her back, and she turns further in that direction, and she turns to try to see her other side, where she probably sees Marcus kind of still laying across her thighs, so to speak. But then she sees,
I'm gonna put him over.
She sees within arm's distance, there's a shiny silver that seems to be picking up the light.
In the sky, yes.
She reaches out. She grabs the switchblade, and she pulls it towards her person. She looks at it. Hands kind of trembling a little bit. No more knives. She puts it away. And with that, she starts getting her body up, as if it's giving her the energy to pick herself back up. And assessing the situation, Overseer, does it seem like basically Sugar is in need of assistance with the two that are still sort of alive?
There are still several raiders. The lights from above have stopped, but you see several glowing piles of ash from leftover raiders here and there. But there are still several raiders that are up that are freaking out, looking at the skies, yelling, trying to figure out what's going on. But immediately next to you, what you see is Sugar standing over Scorpius, Big John standing over Scorpius, Sugar yelling at Big John, and Big John is holding a gun face down.
So in assessing that, and if it looks like Sugar's in a certain stance, like he's gonna try to take, or Big John's at least looking like he's about to do something with the gun, Ash within that time that she's gotten up, she's gonna pain train it straight to Big John and take him out.
Okay, all right, go ahead and
with all the energy.
Okay, cool. I believe it's do you have to do a minor action to stand up? I'm getting my D&D rolls.
I think it should be a minor action.
Yeah, it feels right because I'm getting my D&D rolls all of a sudden mixed up with my that's what happens. Where is my minor action?
Yeah, it's part of the move, or stand up from being prone.
Okay, perfect. So you are prone, so that'd be your minor action. Okay. And
then because of the fact that I'm doing this, it will be a difficulty of 2.
Okay.
Because of the fact that I'm doing my major action is to charge.
Okay.
And I'm hoping to do a critical with this, so I'm gonna add my Slayer to that as well. Okay, so I got an 8 and a 16, which is technically still within. So that's like 2. Well, that's 2 successes. For sure.
Okay.
It's 18 for my target number for that. 2
successes.
Unarmed. Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. And then yes. So that will 2 successes will hit.
And then with this, I get an extra D6, so it's gonna be 6d6 for damage, okay. And then it's stun damage effect as well as that critical.
Okay.
To him. All right, I got 6, 2 5s, and 3 3s.
Okay. And what did you say the weapon effects were?
For that, it's stun damage.
Stun. Okay. Did you have a hit location?
Hit location. That will be a 18, and it's a critical.
Ooh, right leg. Okay, so you stand up, pain train it right into this guy, right into Big John, who is a mountain of a man, but not as large as you. But you take out his, what did I say, right leg? Yeah, right leg, completely dislocating his knee, causing an injury to it. Because it was the critical, right? And he kind of like teeters there for like a second, trying to catch his balance, but completely snaps back and falls, tripping over the body of Scorpius, who is still alive, but he trips on his back.
And then when I'm doing that, I'm just like, just standing over him with that just crazed look in the eye, my breathing heavy. Because that took a lot of it, and she's still recovering from the fact that she was blown off the side of a building. Thanks, Sugar. Yeah. Thanks.
Real.
He's like, he looks at you, he's like, I'm trying to kill him too. What the fuck, man? We're on the same side.
What the hell? And that's pretty much all Ash says, because she's very confused by the fact that he just said that.
What the hell?
Yeah, because you're like, you got your bell rung. Okay, is that your turn?
That is it.
Okay, all right. Then Tipper, your circuits even got fried a bit. And then you see all these flashbacks and these memories of your life before. And then you look up and you can see Ash just take out Big John after Sugar was over there yelling at him. And you can see Scorpius laying on the ground, the leader of the Rattlesnake Raiders.
Okay, so Tipper sort of like sits up on her elbows and like shakes her head. And she's like, because the wind was just knocked out of her. If there's any wind in her, I don't know. Maybe she doesn't. But she sat up and she's sort of just shaking her head. And she looks around, and when she looks through, everything's just sort of spinning. And she sees Sugar and she sees Ash, and she's sort of panicking. Where's Peggy?
Peggy,
yeah.
No left. Peggy's camping out in the grass. She did not go into the camp with you, and Lady didn't as well. She's kind of reconning.
Okay, so I don't see anyone. No one's in danger. So let me think. Okay, so Tipper's just basically, she's gonna jump up and run over to where Ash is, and look at Ash like, everything handled here.
And Ash just took out the leg of this one guy.
Is he dead though? No. Oh, he isn't? I thought she took him down. He's just on the ground.
She broke his leg. She basically for his ACL, basically. Yeah. Oh
my gosh. Okay, well then I guess this is going to be an attack then. Didn't want to say so, but whatever.
Big John's like, I want to be a good guy. Ow, maybe I don't. Fuck you guys.
Man.
Wait.
What?
He's talking about the fact that he's. I don't know if you're not trying to hurt Sugar.
For those that didn't know, yeah, Sugar had tried to tell Big John to be a better person when he tried to kill Scorpius, not Sugar.
No, I'm talking to Big John right now. You're not trying to kill, like basically like my pointing.
I'm trying to kill that piece of shit so I can finally be free of his fucking tyranny. Oh, I think you broke something. Oh, my leg.
Yeah, I do that. That's kind of what I do well.
And Scorpius is over there. Don't listen to him. Eliminate him too. I think he's very pissed. Are you laughing at my Scorpius voice, Marcus?
I'm not. I'm just waiting for Tipper to whip out the shotgun.
Okay, I think she's just gonna hold her action because she's unsure of like what is actually going on here. Yeah, I don't know. So I'm gonna like hold my action. She's sort of looking to see if what's gonna happen, and then I'll go after.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, you can. All right. Okay, yeah. So I mean, you can see Scorpius is like scowling and like scowling at Big John, who just was holding a gun to his face. And then we've got, why do I still have that on there?
Do we need to know anything from Scorpius, or can we just take him out now?
I mean, y'all got a little bit, you talked to him for a minute. Marcus asked some questions. And then Sugar got tired of the pleasantries and went boom, boom. Or the non-pleasantries and went boom, boom. All right, actually, because Sugar you already took your turn. So Tipper, if you wanted to do anything, this is the end of the round before we go back to the top of the round. But it's up to you. You don't have. I mean,
no. I think I'm just gonna hold.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Peggy, you see these explosions, the fire, it brings back the memories, and you can smell the smoke and the fumes and everything. It brings back these awful memories. And you see these flashes of silver in the sky, and you see these beams of light come down, and you can hear yelling and screaming in the camp, but.
Well, with that, so does she see anybody on a tower? What does she?
Yeah, there would be some. Yeah. Let me see if I can move stuff around for you.
Okay. Okay. Are there people within range for me to shoot in the face?
Wow, that's so cool.
Yeah, you're
like
out there. Yeah. So you see people up here, you see people up here. You
So
can
there
kind
are-
of see a little bit over what's
Yeah.
going on there, but yeah.
But yeah, so in that instant though, like, I mean, she doesn't know that they're okay. She doesn't know what happened or why. She doesn't know that Big John is being friendly. She just sees this, has flashbacks, sees UFOs because they're unidentified. And she will yell, she'll just yell out loud, "Lady, stay," and she will stand up and she's gonna fire at those two people up there on that, and she's just gonna out loud to Lady, I'm gonna clear a path, and she shoots. Okay, that is a 4 and a 12, so that is 3 successes, and I would like to spend, and there's only 2 of them up there.
There are 4. You can't see that. There's some more just over to the right a bit more. It's where you can't see off screen. There's 2 more.
Okay, well, I would like to spend, let's see, because they have to be next to, I was going to say they have to be within close range. So I think only those 2 would be considered close range of each other.
I mean, technically they would be, since they're on the rooftop together. All 4 of them are in a zone.
Okay, then do we have, how many action points? We have all fresh action points right now, right, guys?
Going into the camp, did y'all?
I don't think we did anything yet.
6 weeks?
Yeah.
It's been 6 weeks. Oh my god.
I don't think we did anything yet.
Okay, so what I have here,
waiting for 6 weeks.
we have recharged ourselves to max because whatever roll someone did before, after my bomb situation.
It was Marcus.
Okay. Well, good job, Marcus. In which case, I will use 2 of those action points to trigger Gun Fu on the other 2. Are they male or female?
There is 2 of them. 2 of them appear to be feminine. Yeah.
Okay. Well, then I will let you know which ones take what. Okay. So I gotta sort. This is a lot of dice, you guys. So that's okay. That's stupid. That pisses me off. There's 3 of them that are 3s and 4s. So there's a 1.
Use a luck point to re-roll 3 of your combat dice.
I will use a luck point and re-roll.
Better?
Okay, so now this is why I'm laughing. So that is 2 1s, a 2, 2 5s, 3 6s, and then for our male aligned buddy, that's an extra 5.
So 2 of those is an extra 5. Okay.
And then that is piercing 2 and vicious.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 of those is piercing 2 and vicious. So 5 points are going to be negating armor. Did you roll your location or did you aim?
Oh, center mass. I mean, that's.
Oh my god, you do have center mass. Okay. All right, cool. So 5 were vicious. Okay, and then 5 were piercing 2. And then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, the 2 guys are dead. The 2 ladies, the two female presenting are still up.
Okay. And then with that, Peggy will run. She's still just kind of going for, because I mean she's shown her cards, so she's running for like cover, probably like on the left side-ish. And she's running to that fence and just trying to kind of get some kind of cover to see if she can get eyes on the group.
So you're trying to get up, so you're moving up closer, but in the opposite direction that you shot?
Yes.
To get closer to the camp, but in the opposite direction that you shot?
Yeah, I want to make sure that they can't. I have given myself away. I do not want to be in plain shooting sight of the 2 people, one of which I just shot in the stomach.
Yes. Okay, noted. Okay, so we have you moving over that way. Ladies coming with you, or you said stay? You told her to wait.
As
she let you command her a little bit, like.
I don't know. Well, I don't know. That's a sugar thing of like, as Peggy's running, she's probably gonna tell her to stay low, and that way that they don't see her. But I mean, that's all on whether or not Lady will listen.
Sugar's command was to stay with.
Yeah, that's.
Stay with Peggy unless I do a different command.
Okay, well then
So,
she's at my heel, hiding with me.
Okay, all right. Okay, so she's coming up with you, but staying low. All right. Ooh.
And do I make eye contact? Like, do I see them standing now? Like going off to the side?
So from where
Okay.
you are, and I can kind of move you over there too. See if you can get a closer. You'd be kind of over here.
Yeah. That's perfect.
At that point. So you're still kind of behind the barricades, but you can see kind of everything. This is where everything's kind of going on at this point now.
Cool.
There we
Word.
go.
Yeah, in which case, I mean, Peggy is crying just because of the fire and the trauma. But, you know, she sees them and there's a sigh of relief a little bit, even though she just murdered 2 people.
Yeah, the only person that has not stood up yet was Marcus. I guess Marcus exploded. All right,
And that's
cool. So is that your turn? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Before the next
Marcus.
turn, I just want to know,
Marcus. What? Yes.
can the lady make it to our general area in one movement?
Yes, she would be able to. Yeah, she'd be in this. Yeah, y'all would be technically in the same zone.
And our team looked, most of everybody looks pretty hurt, right? Okay, I'm gonna interject.
You all took some pretty significant damage.
And if I remember, using a stim pack is a major action, right?
Yes. Yeah, for healing, you can take a chem as a. Oh, where did I put my stuff? Yeah, take a chem. No, take a chem is a minor action, but to draw it is a minor action as well. So cost. So you'd have to minor action draw it out of your pack or wherever you have it, and then minor action inject it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what I'm gonna do is could I technically do it as a major action, wasting my major action to do a minor action kind of thing?
Yeah, sure. If you wanted to as well, first aid is a major action. So, but you can use a stim pack along with doing first aid, which heals you up to your medicine rating as well. Yeah.
So I'm going to use, what is it? Stack the deck? Nope. Lucky timing.
Okay.
To
go
move forward.
Okay.
Yeah, just real quick. Sugar's gonna lean against, with everything going on, is gonna just lean against the wall. And as loud as Sugar can manage. Birds flying high, you know how I heal. Sun in the sky, you know how I heal. And to that response, Lady knows the cue to run up with stim packs towards my voice.
Okay.
And I would like to
love that you use that song.
I like to use my command to get Lady to inject Ash with one of the stim packs. I will use my minor action to grab the additional one from her body and use first aid to heal Marcus.
Okay. So, all right. So you're commanding, then using minor action on yourself. You drew. Well, no. You drew major action on yourself. Oh, no. Yeah, drew major action on yourself.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna use the action points to do another major action to then have the next command to be the second healing, so I can heal 2 people for this round.
Okay.
I believe it's 1 action point or 2 to do another major action.
It would be 1 to do 1 more major action.
Okay.
Wait, 2 to do minor actions, one action.
Perfect.
Point.
Then
2.
I will be giving Marcus and Ash, both will be hit with a stim pack.
Okay. And then the first aid is the stim pack plus first aid, which the stim pack does 4 HP. The first aid affects whatever your medicine rating is. It heals them for that, as well as you can either. You can either heal the HP using your medicine rating, treat 1 injury, or stabilize a dying person. So would you like to treat one of his injuries, or?
Yeah, I'm gonna treat one of his injuries, and the goal for the stim pack is if Ash has an injury to treat that. Otherwise, It's just a healing that lady's offering.
Okay, cool.
I think it was my torso.
And yeah,
Okay.
so I'll do those 2 healings,
Awesome.
and that is it.
Okay.
That's all I can do.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah. So you, Marcus, you get some healing. Everybody's feeling a little bit good now. You gonna take it away? And everyone's feeling. I'm just kidding.
Everyone's healing good.
Feeling good. I love it. Okay. All right then. Then Marcus, what would you like to do?
Couple questions first. So with the injury treated, that doesn't heal HP, right? That just treats the injury, correct?
You get the 4 HP from the stim pack, and then the first aid gives you the treating your injury, meaning that wherever the injury was, like if you had a twisted ankle, like something was wrong with your leg or something was wrong, it patches it up. But if you take a critical there again, it reopens the wound or more damage there again.
So the critical hit I took is no longer there currently.
Yeah, I healed
Okay.
1 injury.
So same for me. Okay, cool.
But
And-
however,
and
Marcus,
4
you did an
HP added.
additional 4. Marcus does not Ash, because I did medicine plus stim pack. Ash
Got it.
only got a stim pack.
So that means it's only so it's still not
4 HP.
critical for mine anymore if it takes
Yeah.
that away.
Yeah, I could take that away or heal if I
Okay,
remember
cool,
reading
cool,
it right.
Cool.
Marcus, you get both because I did first aid as an action plus stim pack.
And I'm almost back to full HP.
I got you, fam.
All right. So as I realize my soft landing is no longer there, as my head is now in the dirt, I'm gonna stand up. I guess using a minor action, and then surveil my area. What is it looking like? How many friendlies? How many enemies am I seeing in my immediate vicinity?
All right. You felt Ash get up as your muscular pillows of her thighs were removed, and you see her charging across, completely taking out Big John. There's yelling. There are people on some of the rooftops. You see there's 2 people on there's 2 people that are kind of one person that's a little ways behind you. Let me show you. So you got one person still up over here, 2 people on the roof over here. The Scorpions are over, kind of like over here. Peggy shot some people way over there. But in this immediate area, it's just one person here, 2 people up there. And then Big John is on his back and Scorpius is on his back. Yeah. And then there's a bunch of glowing ash piles around everywhere.
Did Marcus hear what was going on around him as that little conversation happened between
It was
Big
muffled.
John?
It was muffled and your ears were ringing, but you did hear kind of what was being said. Mhm.
Gotcha. Okay. And then is everything within close range to where I am, or is anything considered?
Yes, not the ones that Peggy was shooting at that you can't see that's off screen right now, but everything else would be.
But everything you show me is within close range?
Yes, I would say yes. Sure.
Okay. Then seeing as how Big John has been hobbled, and there's some type of hesitancy on Tipper's part from shooting him on the
Because
ground.
you could hear Ash and Sugar kind of like talking with Big John, trying to figure out what the hell was going on. Because he was trying to shoot the leader as well. So.
Oh, that's a better question. Because I could not find it in my notes. When we went on the Big John bounty hunt, obviously Marcus has a hard on for a lot of raiders. But was his hard on extended because he was specifically? Did he know? Was he involved?
You knew that he was.
massacre?
You knew that he was a Rattlesnake Raider. You knew that he was a Rattlesnake gang leader, but he's not the leader.
Right.
But you knew that he's one of the higher ups.
I don't have any knowledge that he had any involvement with the massacre at Coal Ranch.
You just know that he's part of the Raider gang that did it.
And I will let that simmer, and I'm going to take aim at to whichever the closest raider is to me that's on the ground.
That one's dead. The one that's on the ground is dead.
Then I will shoot.
The other one on the ground behind the one that's dead is.
Sure.
I'll take that one off. But yeah, they're up.
All right, then I'll shoot the 2 on the roof. Then.
Okay, yeah, this one is up, and then the 2 on the roof are up.
Okay.
So there is one
Do
on
you
the
have-
ground.
Do you have to declare the gun foo thing prior to hitting, or do you hit and then?
It just says when you hit somebody
when you-
with an attack.
Let's
Yeah.
see if I
When
hit.
you succeed a ranged attack, blah.
Let's see if I hit. All right, I'm taking aim at the raider on the left on the roof.
I just knew that I was going to do that because I
Gotcha.
wanted to kill as many as I could.
And taking aim is a loose term. I'm not actually doing that.
Right. Yeah. So minor action, you're standing up.
Yeah,
And
my
then
action, my action stood up, and then I'm shooting. A 9 and a 3. That's three successes.
Okay, that definitely hits. Go ahead and roll your location.
Location is a 9, which I think
Yeah, it's in a round.
is left arm. Maybe?
A 9.
Mhm.
It is. Okay.
And what was the difficulty?
Well, yeah. What was the defense?
The difficulty was a 1. So
So we're back at 7.
I will be spending an action point to shoot the one and a piece of ammo to shoot the other one as well. Using gun
okay.
foo. Same damage. Don't need to reroll.
It's the same amount of damage. They take the same.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I don't want to make y'all re-roll that.
All right. It's looking
I think I was
good.
reading that you could, but
Okay.
I like when you spin spells and like
let's-
D&D. Same damage.
Okay, I'm gonna use it's only one. It's probably not worth it. All right, or 2. That's fine. All right, so damage wise, that is 2 6s, 2 5s, 2 2s, and 3 1s.
7 regular, 3 with effects.
Is 5 and 6 effects or just 6?
5 and 6 are both effects. They're 1 point damage each
So
with
four,
effects.
four with effects, 5 regular. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 15 damage.
15. Weapon effects, what was it again?
Is vicious. So I double. All right, I already calculated them. So 15 to one, 15 to the other.
Oof. Okay. And that was their left arm.
Yes.
Okay. They're both right-handed. So they're not going to drop their guns, but you do notice that, like, both of them, it's like their armor completely breaks off of their left arm, and they are bleeding heavily from those left arms, both of them.
Okay. I will use I'll do the. We're down to 6 action points. I'll use 2 of them to do another major action.
Okay.
And try to shoot them again.
Okay. Difficulty goes up.
Not with action boy / girl.
Ah, that's right. So good. I love all the perks. The perks are so much fun.
A 3
Really are.
and a 16, which I think 16 is my 16 is my
Yeah.
number. So that's 3 successes again.
3 successes again. Okay, back up to full.
The hit location is a 9 again.
9.
They're just blowing the
Left
fuckers
arm
off.
again.
They're just going.
It is the left arm again. Oh no.
You got no arm.
It's broken.
Okay. Damage is
For children. It's fine.
not near as good. Are they pretty close to dead, or should I use a luck point on damage?
They were pretty rough. They're bleeding out of their
Nub.
not femoral arterial.
What is Marcus going to use luck points?
Brachial artery.
I'll use a luck point to reroll through dice. I don't know what Marcus would possibly use luck points for. Okay. A 1, a 2, 4 6s, and a 5.
It's not working. Hold on 1 second. I'm trying to. Okay. How much total?
So it's 13 total.
13.
And then ammo and another action point to hit the second target with gun foo.
Okay. Try to fix this. I'm gonna turn off my. Hopefully it'll go all wonky. Okay. And where'd you say that it was on the left arm again, and it was the same two? Okay, and you said it was 11 total?
I think it was 13, but 11.
13. Okay, but no, that's not right. Okay. Yeah, no, that's like more than you needed. Yeah, so you aim a little bit higher on both of their left arms with their arms just barely dangling, and you do hit that brachial artery on both of their arms, and yeah, they
blood spraying everywhere.
Yep. Just like what was it? The why can't I think of the to the scratch? I'm blanking on the name of the freaking classic movie. Monty Python. Monty Python. So yeah. So those two go down. Yeah.
All right.
Death by arm. They got hit so much in their arm they died.
It's a good thing. What was your super mutant's name in the first one shot?
Dargo.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Took his arm.
Dargo lost an arm too. You know all about that.
An arm for an arm.
I don't think Marcus knows anything about it, but yeah, it did happen. Yeah, I think that will do. Oh, well, Marcus will then, if he's able to, will move and obviously get some cover behind Ash.
I used
I used my minor to get up. I don't know if you can still move within the same zone or not, but if I can, then I would move to Ash.
Oh yeah, you can move within the same zone. Yeah. Because you're not leaving the zone. So you're trying to move closer to Ash. So moving over closer to Ash, Scorpius is awake.
Sure.
Eyes kind of blurry, looking up, and yeah, he's up now. So.
Fantastic. Saving the bullets for him later.
Okay.
So Scorpius is up. Like standing up?
Conscious.
Okay. I was like, is he standing? If he's standing, immediately Peggy's gonna be flipping off. She's got something in her pocket. But
Scorpius is going to stand up. Yeah, he's going to stand up, and he has his gun. What would he do? He's like right next to all three of you, but he's away from his people. Yeah, he's going to start trying to run as best he can, limp, try to get next to somebody. He'd probably go for a Scorpions for protection. Yeah, he's trying to get the fuck away from all of you. So he will stand up and then start running over. Like, oh yeah, because Tipper came over and she's like talking to Ash, and Big John's like, oh no, my table, it's broken. And then he's
oh no, my leg, it's broken.
Big John's leg, it's broken.
He was
So he's gonna
confusing
run up.
Ash. You know, he's like, I'm trying to help you guys. And I'm like what? So she's trying to make sense of everything. She's very confused.
All right, so he's running over there. He is going to pull out his shotgun. Ooh, that's definitely gonna hit. And he is going to shoot at. Tipper blew you up. Not Tipper. Blah, blah, blah. Sugar blew him up. But Ash looks the scariest. He's gonna shoot Ash in the torso.
Fantastic.
I'm sorry.
It's funeral.
Let's see. Oh, okay. Hey, I didn't do that much. Okay, so that's going to be. Oh, and it has spread. So it's actually going to hit. It's going to also hit. Let me keep on. Spread. Where is it? I'm pretty sure spread hits everybody in the area over there.
Does it take into account to the size of Ash's lower body?
Body. Man, this is a long spread. Each effect deals an extra
Marcus is in
half total
cover.
damage to another body part. Oh, to another body part. It wasn't another person. To another body part. So half total.
That's fine.
To one
You can
other
give
body part.
you can give a hat to Marcus. He is hugging the leg.
Okay. So it's going to be six total piercing damage to your torso, and then 3 total damage to your right arm.
That doesn't do anything for mine right now. But yeah, definitely back to crit for my torso. Cool. And you said it's a major action to for Stimpacky?
Oh, no. Stimpack is a minor action to draw, minor action to inject. It's a major action to do the Stimpack with first aid, which first aid can either heal an injury, bring somebody back to being conscious if they're unconscious, and then or heal extra HP depending on what your medicine rating is. Then Big John is going to also get up and continue to try to listen. I want to take him down just as much as you do, but I've got people in here that can help us. Let me help you. No, I know I don't know, I don't look like I'm on your side, but I don't want to be here as much as you do. I want him dead as much as y'all do. Please don't hit me again. And he's like trying to limp. Oh yeah, he tries to stand back up, but he falls back down because he can't walk. He has to crawl because his leg's broken. So that happens. Then the Scorpions are going to, that Scorpius ran over to, I'm gonna get that, I didn't have that pulled out. 1 second. Usually more prepared, but I don't know why I didn't have this out. The Scorpions are going to start coming over. All right, one is going to pinch at Tipper with their claw. Yeah, they're going to do a claw attack. Oh, I don't know if that's gonna. What's your defense, Tipper? It's a 1, right? I think it's a 1.
My defense is 1.
A 1. Okay, so that will hit. Then I just got 1, and that's going to do. And it's got vicious, so that's going to be 4 points of. Let's see, 4 points to your right leg. So negating any armor.
Okay.
So mine do nothing to you. And then the other one is going to come over and try to do a sting attack against Marcus. 2.
My defense is 2.
2. Oh, that's going to be 2, 4. 4 plus 1, 5 points of physical damage to using their stinger to your right arm.
How much?
4 points.
Non-piercing?
Huh? 4 points of piercing.
Oh, it's 4 points of piercing damage?
It's piercing and poison damage. Persistent poison damage, which means.
So that bypasses all resistances, right? Piercing.
Yeah, you probably don't have any resistance to poison. So, and the persistent. So you take the damage again at the end of their next turn. For equal to the effects rolled, which was only 1. So you take that damage again on their next turn. You can make a test to end this early with a difficulty of 1. So you can end it early on your turn if you roll one success.
Okay.
But that's your turn. But that's your major action.
Yeah.
The other ones are going to the 2 female presenting that are on top that didn't die are going to shoot down. They're going to try to, one of them is going to try to look and try to find where she went. Can't quite see her. The other one is going to shoot down, seeing Scorpius in danger. She's going to shoot down 1 to Sugar. Defense. 1, yeah, okay. I figured that's going to be 1, 2, 3 with 2 effects. So that's 5 to your right arm.
That's gonna hurt.
And it's piercing, or not piercing. It's physical damage. Sorry.
It's irrelevant. I'm sugar squishy.
Sugar melts.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to be the end of their turn. So Ash, it's your turn.
Okay, so I'm trying to figure out how to go about doing this because Ash's intelligence is very low. So therefore, doing first aid probably won't be the best thing, especially since she has no skill in medicine. However, she does have 2 stim packs. So the thing is if I use action points right now to use said stim packs, will that be able to get my critical torso that is basically bleeding profusely a little bit more stable? That's the question.
Yeah, because you could do your first aid with this, which is a difficulty. All you have to do is roll your first aid and difficulty of whatever number of.
Well, that's what I was saying. My first, like, if I try to administer first aid, I don't have any skill. Like, basically, it's
minor action, draw the stim pack. Action point, minor action, use chemical stim pack to remove an injury. You still have your major action left.
Okay. And that's all I need to know. So for 1, it's at least 4. It's 4 to get it semi-healed. It's not going to remove the critical, or does it?
To treat an injury, you would have to do the first aid.
But with the stim pack, at least I can still move, or would I not be able to move because of the fact that I have a critical in the torso?
Where's your critical injury?
Torso.
Oh no, you can't. You're just bleeding out. You're bleeding out, and you take damage. Ooh, I believe when you take your critical, you have to take damage. Injury, torso bleeding heavily, 2d6 damage after each turn. Yeah, so you take. So if you don't heal your injury, your critical injury to your torso, you take 2d6 damage to your torso at the end of each of your turns.
So I'm trying to figure out. So, okay. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to figure this out because I'm literally the dumbest one of the group. So this is going to be rough because I have nothing for my medicine. So I would have to get basically literally a 4 in order to try to basically stabilize myself.
Because stim pack.
Well, Tepper never used her action. And she's like, she never used her last action.
That's true.
Tipper could have tried to first aid you as her action.
Yeah.
I'm bleeding over here. Ash yells out.
Yeah, that's what I was
in
thinking.
desperation, because I don't know what else to do at this point. Yeah. So,
okay.
Help, please.
Okay.
Tipper can use a luck point to go ahead of Ash.
Yeah.
I would, because I've never gotten to use a luck point before.
To go ahead. Okay.
Sorry, viewers. We have to figure this out because it's very complicated when you have a dummy in the group.
Okay.
Who's just a very strong person, but just yeah.
Okay, so for this, do I have to roll?
Just do a medicine, whatever your medicine is, plus your intelligence. That's going to be your target number. Difficulty of 1, so you only have to get 1 success when you roll your 2d20s. Because she only has one.
It's like
injury.
literally medicine is 4 and it's tagged, and intelligence is 12.
Yeah, you're good. There's no way she can fail unless she gets a nat 20, and that'd be funny.
I got a 2 and a 19.
Oh, okay, very close.
Wow, I almost threw up.
Really bad. That was almost really bad. Okay, cool. All right, and what's your medicine was a 4 or 3, you said?
Yeah, and it's tagged. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Oh, so you don't, but instead you're not going to use that to heal. You're going to use, so you're going to administer first aid. Give her
I mean, she limps over because, you know, she has an injury to her leg, and she's like, I mean, she's turned between wanting.
Your torso.
Oh yeah. No, my leg of a shot.
Are falling out a little bit. You can see her insides on the outside.
And like Tipper, while she's limping over, she's dragging like the sawed off on the ground because it's like she pulled out Hannah's gun, but then she got shot. So she runs over to heal Ash. Is that my only action?
No, you can do. So that would be your major action. Well, it's probably minor action to take the chem from her and inject it, but you can still use action points to do something else if you wanted to attack somebody after you.
Yeah, so she do.
4 points of healing to Ash, plus you no longer have a critical injury.
Okay.
Patched up.
Ooh, this is nice. Okay, do I see the person that, do I have an eyesight to the person that shot me in the leg or shot?
Yes, if you turn around, you can see one of the people up on the roof that's kind of like by Scorpius. They're way over here.
Okay.
They're over here.
Oh, okay. There we go.
They're like
okay.
right here.
Yeah. Okay.
Which one's the one I shot in the stomach?
I see him.
Oh, they're dead.
I see
him. That one. Yeah.
Okay.
So she's not doing too good.
Okay, so she would like to, after she heals Ash, she's like, turns around and she like squints. I mean, she's robotic. She has really good eyesight, hopefully. And she would like to shoot using Hannah's shotgun, which spreads vicious.
Oh, nice. Okay, so it will get them at another location if you hit. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, hold on.
Welcome, Raiders. Thanks, NPC Voices, our friend Josh. Welcome, everybody. We are playing some Fallout as we do every Monday night. Yeah, they're currently in the middle of a big boss battle.
Yeah.
What a minor boss battle, not a big boss battle, but a minor boss battle.
So for this, do I roll 5d6 for this, I think?
With your shotgun, I believe it is.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah. It's Hannah's shotgun.
Ooh, yep. 4.
Red and vicious.
4, 3, 1. Ooh, whoa. 6, 5, 4, 4, 1.
6, 5, 4, 4, 1. That's okay. So 3, but it's
3.
vicious. It's vicious and spread. So then they're gonna take some of the other damage. It doesn't matter. You aim the shotgun up there. Well, not aim, but you cock the shotgun up there after shooting or after healing Ash with a stim pack and doing a little bit of first aid patching. You look over at where that you just got shot, shoot the shotgun up at them, and you hear her yelp out and then go tumbling head over heels off the railing to their death.
Wow. I would like to take another action to rob them, whatever they have on their person. I'm just kidding.
When did Clay get back? I don't know what's going on. Clay?
Damn it. Okay.
I'm
done.
Okay. Okay, cool. Then we Sugar went ahead. Oh, Ash, because Ash. Yeah, Tipper went before Ash, so now it's back to you.
So now that my intestines aren't falling out of my stomach, I'm going to still take one of the stim packs as my minor action and inject it straight into the area where she was giving first aid.
Oof. You can feel the cold liquid just start to spread out through your veins.
So then that's like 4 healing for that?
4 HP. Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect. Because then now there's only 1 damage in my torso where there was 9. So it was bad. Okay, and then for my major action, I still see that bastard Scorpius, right?
Yes, he is backing. He went and ran back off where his scorpions were, and his scorpions came and started attacking everyone.
Okay, so if and he's within how many zones? One?
He's in the same zone as you.
Okay, so after
he's right here. This is him.
Thanks, Tipper.
This coward right here. And then this person just fell off the roof.
So after thanking Tipper, you want some of this? And then she's gonna go ahead and charge forward to give him a power bomb to the ground with her pain train full force, using a luck point in order to inflict critical damage. Since guess what? He inflicted critical damage to her, so she's gonna return the favor. Yeah, he deserved it. He deserved it, bastard. And one of those is a 1 and another one is a 10. So so Ash was angry. Cause that's her tag skill is unarmed attacks. So yeah, take that. All right.
Hit him in his
5?
bits.
What's a 5?
5 is the torso.
Back at him.
Snap.
Back at you. Boom! Just full force, just like picking this dude up and just tossing him to the ground. And that is 6 points with stun damage. So.
Oh no. Okay.
Okay, hold on, let me see. All right, so we got that's 2 5s. 2 5s, a 2, and then the other ones are not going to do anything.
Okay, so 2 of them have the weapon properties, right?
Yeah, stun.
The stun. Oh, that's right. Okay.
And then there is a critical to his torso.
Oh no. Okay, yeah. So you end up ripping open a gash, just another, and he's bleeding out profusely from his torso. He looks kind of rough.
She's not done, because am I able to do? I know it's probably gonna the challenge might increase, but if I use some more action points in order to basically.
Yeah, the challenge rating goes up to 2, so you have to have 2 successes because he was just a defensive 1.
Okay. Basically she's going to try to basically get on top of him and just punch him dead in the torso, hopefully again. If not, that's wherever she can hit him.
Okay.
She's totally down. Okay, and that was an 8 and an 11, which still, those are 2 successes.
Okay, and location?
For the location, 10?
That's going to be the left arm.
Left
so
arm,
he's raising up his arm, trying to shield his injured
so she's trying to break
center mass.
What is this bone? Femur? Well, not femur.
Your radius and ulna.
Radius and ulna.
Yeah, radius and ulna. Yeah.
Okay. So we got 2 2s, a 6, a 5, and a 1, and then
and stunned effect again. Okay. His armor. Wait. Did you inflict a critical again?
Yeah, use another book point.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Because of your.
I want to break every bone in his body.
Okay. Yeah. You break some of the armor. You break some of the armor that he has as he's shielding up, and it does crack the armor and drive some of the metal from the Raider armor, the cage armor that he had on into his arm, dealing quite a bit of damage to his arm and his muscles and his vascular system there. He's just screaming out in pain and angry, and starts chittering to his scorpions to come to him.
That's it. I used every trick in the book, so that's pretty much it. I'm just gonna be there. I'm just wailing on him.
he's not going to be able to get up unless there's like some kind of act of.
Yeah, so just reckless aggression. Just pounding at him. Yeah, just going at him.
Okay. All right. Then we will be back up to the top of the round with Peggy then.
Okay. To be clear, I do not have a clear eye on either of the scorpions, correct? I know that they're there, but I can't see them where I'm at.
Oh, no. One is like basically, you can see one that's like stinging Marcus. There's one, a blue, black one right next to Marcus.
No, I'm just kidding. Peggy will go ahead. She sees it, stabbing her drinking buddy. And, one time they stopped a mannequin together. So she's
killed that mannequin.
Killed the shit out that mannequin. And she's instinctively at that point just gonna fire off. That is 2 successes.
Definitely on the scorpion.
Yes.
Defense 1. Yes.
Okay. Sweet. And then that is not an extra. Is it a? Can I tell if the scorpion is gendered? I'm kidding.
I can't. I don't know. Like, what do they?
Mother of God. Okay. 3 6s.
Oh, okay.
3 1s and a 2.
Okay. So 8.
And then that's piercing, 2, and vicious.
Okay. Hit location.
Center mass.
Oh, center mass. Okay, so right in their thorax. Okay. I don't think that they have.
I mean, if not, just I'd shoot the big bit.
I was just making sure. I was looking at their weak spot. Okay. Okay, cool. I was making sure that their center mass was not their weak spot, which it's not. So, okay.
If I can aim for their buggy bits.
Okay, cool.
No.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no. So since you're hitting it like right in the thorax, then it wouldn't be its weak spot. So, but it does take some damage. It's still up though.
Okay. How are we doing on action points?
I have us at 4 right now.
So I can use, it's 1 action point, right? But the DC goes up.
2 action points to do a major action, and the
2
DC.
actions. Okay.
Minor actions 1. Yeah.
But if you credit, we'll get some back.
I was about to say, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna spend the 2. And that is 2, so that is 4 successes.
Oh shit. Okay. Yeah, you definitely hit.
Thank you, Center Mass. I love you. And
you are going to go ahead and take center mass again?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It's what gave me my second 2. Using a luck point because those are some bullshit. Okay, that's better. Oh, that's better. 3 1s, a 2, a 5, and 3 6s.
8. Okay. Yeah, so you've blasted into this scorpion and it completely severs it in two halves, and you can see the front half taking its little claws and trying to grab onto anything. It lunges, its little front claws lunges at Lady, and its back stingers just kind of doing this number, but can't really find anything to sting, and then it's finally eventually just stops moving.
Then I will run across down the fence line because I saw Ash run that direction. So Peggy will then run down the fence line to where she can see Ash beating the dog bejesus out of Scorpius. And just to add some salt to the wound, she just reaches into her pocket and pulls out a necklace. Hey, I hate to break it to you. Your daughter put up more of a fight. And then she puts it back into her pocket and just has her gun at the ready.
Okay, so you run over there, see him. Okay. Oh, and he's currently on his ass. I forgot about that.
Yeah, he is.
He's on his ass. This person's dead. Yeah. Okay, these people are dead. I'm gonna get rid of them.
I mean, mine and Marcus's family, at the very least, are very dead because of this person. So, yeah, salt.
And Ash knows that they're both wanting to take care of the revenge, so she's just trying to make sure that he can't move.
Oh, this
For
is
that very
Marcus's.
reason.
This is Marcus's. Yeah, this is.
I know. I was like, this isn't Charlie. Where's Charlie?
No, this is Marcus's finito.
Speaking of, unless anybody's going to, this is so. Peggy just went. Anybody's going to go? Marcus.
That's it.
Question.
Shoot him in the head.
Well, I surely will. Question. With the psycho, I have additional physical resistance.
Okay.
And I have toughness. You said it was piercing 4 on the attack.
They had, and the piercing does. No, vicious piercing stacks. Yes.
So it's piercing 4.
So it negates 4 points of your armor.
Right. That's the question. Because I have with toughness, the ballistic weave or whatever, and the psycho that I'm on. I have 7 damage resistance. So would it mean I took no damage?
Technically, because the psycho is lasting, right? Is
yeah,
it a lasting?
It's lasting. Yeah, it takes. I forget. Well, I think lasting is the entire.
Yeah, lasting is the entire scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's lasting.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it adds 3 to your physical resistance and 2 to your damage output.
Do we get rated again? Woo! Fateful encounters! Yay! Our other all the friends rating us tonight. Thank you, Fateful Encounters. How are you guys doing? Appreciate the raid. We are playing Fallout, the RPG. We're playing Vault. It's a Fallout 2D20 RPG made by using the system by Modifius. Oh my gosh, I can't talk right now. And we're in one of our mini boss battles. Not the big boss battle, but one of the mini boss battles. So, yeah. All right. So Marcus. Yeah. So since it's a lasting effect, I guess you don't, because those would all stack.
Okay. So then
your armor and then your chem. Mm-hmm.
So the poison, does that go through, or if it does, is it not going to be?
The poison. The poison would, because you don't have any resistance with that.
Sure. But what does the poison do if I didn't take any damage?
You would take 2d6 damage at the end of each of your turns.
Perfect. So I'm not taking
at the end of its turn. So, but you can spend an action to.
It's just 2d6.
With a difficulty of 1.
I'll take that all day. That's fine.
Okay.
I'll keep taking 2d6. Into my turn.
End of your turn. Oh, you're taking it.
I take the 2d6 damage at the end of my turn.
I think it's the end of its turn. Let me double check. I think it's the end of its turn.
So should I have taken it before or after it attacked me? Additional?
No, let me double check. Verse. I was just looking at it. I think it's at the end of its turn. And then you can injury, poison. Oh, poison. Here we go. Nope. Gosh dang it. First, it's taking me forever to find the answer. I'm going to say that we'll just do it right now, because it's probably not going to do. Yeah, it's 1 point of poison. It's 1 point of poison damage. So
yeah, I'm planning on not shooting this ever, so that's fine. All right,
and it's only for 1 round, because it was only 1.
Okay, so so I take 1 damage and then it's gone basically.
Yeah, because I only rolled 1 effect, so.
Got it. Okay, seeing that Scorpius on the ground and knowing my allies don't like to leave anyone any loose ends, I'm going to decide that might be the only opportunity I have to attempt to kill Scorpius.
Yeah.
So I'm going to attempt to do that. I'm going to ignore the scorpions, or scorpion, whatever's left.
Scorpii?
There's a scorpion. So the scorpion that was right next to you, Steve,
Scorpiono?
is dead.
Yeah.
There's a scorpion that is currently attacking your friends, and then Ash is on top of Scorpius.
I'm gonna assume Tipper's got that other scorpion handled pretty easily. So I'm gonna casually walk by Tipper in her battle, and then, I'm going to head over to where Ash is standing over Scorpius, and I am going to attempt.
Just hold it to his face and go boom.
Oh my gosh.
I'm already holding him down, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hashtag
I mean,
tee-hee.
his arm and his rib cage are broken. I mean, he's coughing up blood at this point.
I'm going to attempt to shoot him.
Teabag him first.
It's a risky maneuver there. I'm gonna just.
I mean,
just gonna-
Ash is in the position to teabag him in the face.
Seems like a risky thing to do in the middle of a battle. I'm going to attempt to shoot him.
Peggy's got you covered. You just teabag away.
And this is not Halo. They don't have helmets, so they can still bite.
That'd be my
That's
concern.
why Ash would do it, because there's nothing for him to really. I mean.
That is an 8 and a 2 to hit. And that 2 is a critical success.
Okay, yeah, then that only difficulty of 1, so yes.
Roll that beautiful bean footage,
Nice.
please. Make his face go splody.
Oh, Spody.
Splody pop.
That is
Were you aiming?
oh shit, no.
Do you spend an action point to aim or no?
Do it. Yes, it's worth it. Shoot him in the face.
A 3. So that is torso.
Oh, well, he's already fucked up in the torso anyway, so might as well.
But I want him to lose an eyeball too.
We can take it after he's down.
Oh,
That is 3 1s, 2 2s, 2 5s, and a 6 with the vicious property.
2 2s,
Woof.
3 1s, 2 2s, a 5, and a 6.
Yeah, so I think it's 13
It was already a crit in his torso.
13 damage
Yep.
to his currently critically hit.
Yeah, you take your gun. This is with Winona.
Oh, that's the only gun I have.
Okay. Yeah. So Ash is just like going at him, like she's over his body, just pummeling him in the face. As you come over, kind of John Wayne style, and you're just like, take out Winona, and the dust is coming up and everything, and you Ash leans back covered in Scorpius's blood, and you pull the trigger, sending a bullet deep into his thoracic aorta, and just blood starts everywhere, and he is gasping on his final breaths.
So is he dying?
He's dying.
Oh, that's great.
You are waste him, and he's gasping.
Okay, my pronunciation is going to be horrendous in this, so I do apologize in advance. It's Poka mi nidestrava sinova.
Did you just tell him you're gonna poke him in the face?
No.
I don't speak Russian. The Russian? Did I guess it?
It was
Yeah. Ugh. And he's like spits up some blood, tries to spit it at you. Where's my daughter?
Same place you're going.
Dies. Sorry. And he dies. And his head leans over to the side, and blood starts just coming out. He's a mess. The scorpion behind him is still active. There's just a couple of other people that are up that appeared to be firing at you. Big John, did you want to do anything else, Marcus?
I mean, I think at this point Marcus is gonna probably shut down. So he's gonna squat. He's gonna take a squat. He's gonna take a sit. And just see what transpires.
Are you sitting on his
Okay.
face?
No, I think I'll.
You did promise the teabagging.
I don't think I promised that. I think I'm going to just sit down next to his dead body.
He was gonna get a clam stamp, not a tea bag. Get it right.
I'm gonna sit down and have a thing. I'm gonna have a thing.
Okay,
So Marcus, after finishing Scorpius sputtering his last breath. Big John, Big John is going to kind of look at everyone, and seeing that nobody's attacking him now, he is going to take aim at the Scorpion. He did okay. 1 success, that's gonna be enough. Torso, of course. We're all torso again tonight. He will pop off a shot at the Scorpion in its torso, dealing a little bit of damage to it. The Scorpion is going to, this time, no, it's going to come over and, let's see, odds or evens, Marcus?
Odds or evens? Which evens?
It's going to hit Ash.
Ah,
The
shit.
Scorpion is going to come over and hit Ash.
My bad.
Probably because she teabagged him. It's fine.
Clam stamp.
yeah.
Or I don't know what Ash has betwixt their nether
No.
region.
You're
All
right.
of the above.
You're right. You're
I
right.
am reminded of a Black Dahlia murder song. Sorry, go ahead.
I don't think y'all
I'll
are
send-
gonna believe me.
I'll send the
I
lyrics.
rolled a
later.
nat 20. The Scorpion comes over, readies its stinger to poke into Ash. Instead, Ash starts to slightly get up as Marcus has completed this foe, starts to stand up, and where its stinger was going to meet Ash in the butt cheeks, instead it stings down into the leg of the dead Scorpius, injecting its former, it really is a nat 20, guys, and I love it, I'm not gonna change it, and injects the poison into its former master.
Giving him just enough adrenaline to get back up.
Ooh, that could be a thing. Just like ghouls get regenerated by, that should have been a thing. Ghouls get regenerated by radiation. He could be regenerated by scorpion venom. That could be a thing. I don't think
Is
Sugar.
it? Never mind. I have jokes.
So yeah, so that happens. The others seeing that
You
their
thought the same
leader
thing,
has
you wouldn't know what I was talking about.
the others see their leader has fallen. The other raiders see that their leader has fallen and start running from the rooftops and going into hiding places. You can see people peeking out, some of the raiders peeking out that were not attacking you and just kind of like watching and listening, and trying to figure out what was going on.
So this one that tried to sting me and failed is still in my area, correct?
It's right behind you.
So I'm gonna use my movement to grab, or like I'm gonna grab my sledge. What do you do with bugs? Squash them. And so she's gonna swing with her super sledge, and yeah, crown and glory this thing right in the noggin. So
I had
let's see.
really hoped when you said you were gonna grab
His
him.
tail?
No, that you were gonna grab Scorpius and beat the Scorpion. There was this part of me that wanted to see that.
That could have been nice, but I mean, I feel like because his torso, I feel like he would have just split
Yeah.
in two when I picked part of his body up. But I don't
You're
know.
right, but it would have been.
His torso was so badly damaged.
Right? Okay, so that's 3 successes, and it's 9 dice that I
Fine,
have
okay.
to roll.
Oh, what was the location?
The location is 1. So I think it's,
Okay, cool.
yeah.
Oh,
So
wait,
that's the
no,
head,
no.
right? That's the head.
Yes,
No,
but.
I literally said I wanted to hit it in the noggin. And that's what I'm
Oh,
gonna
so
do.
are you taking the aim? Oh, yeah, you can take the aim. Are you taking aim as a minor
No,
action?
no, I just roll. I said that I wanted to try to hit it's on like in its head, and then I rolled the one that happens to be its head. So it was perfect.
I will say that you were going to use it. I'm going to say that you did choose to hit the head because that actually triggers a weak spot for it.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, it can't function if it has no brain.
Oh no.
Okay, so we got 2 6s, a 5, 2 1s, and the rest are 4s and 3s, so it doesn't count.
Yeah, so it's weak spot. You hit it in the soft spot, and it's weak spot where it's got those little pinchers. So it's got the big pinchers and it's got the little pinchers that are really disgusting and gross. And you hit it right in that, and that's one of its weak spots. It's the shell and everything is a little bit softer and less crunchy. And you smack into it, and it ignores all of its body armor. Oh, and you just like crunch its little face, and it's just.
Mm-mm.
And it stops. And it's dead. It is dead.
I hate bugs.
До свидания.
I hate bugs. And that's it. That's all she says. Because she does. This is proven that Ash absolutely hates him.
Was there anything else in particular you wanted to do?
Okay. Is there anyone else that's like kind of like that Ash would see running?
The rest of them started running. The only other, you see a couple people peeking out, but they're not wielding weapons.
Okay, but there's no more of the insects.
No, the other scorpion died. Mm-hmm. That one's now dead. Scorpius is now dead. Big John tried to stand up, couldn't, because he's got a broken leg, broken ACL, torn ACL, but he's kind of behind the scorpion. So yeah, you don't see anybody else that's being hostile toward you at this moment.
Okay, so then I'm gonna move like where.
So y'all are technically out of combat,
yeah, so
unless we're fighting Big John and the rest of the raiders that are in the camp that are not presenting as hostile toward you.
Yeah, so it's basically so Ash is done with her stuff. So that's it.
Sugar is going to continue leaning against the wall and slowly start to slump down towards the ground. Lady will instinctively come over to Sugar's lap, and Sugar is technically going to be taking a nap.
A dirt nap. You didn't take that much damage, Sugar. You don't need to take a dirt nap.
Sugar took a lot from that explosion and has little to no damage reduction.
Hold on. So you
And I got shot a few times and then never used the stim pack.
Oh, I have a stim pack.
Are you taking a forever nap?
Well, I was going to say, as soon as like this all happens, Peggy's gonna immediately go looking for Sugar, just because she's seen everybody else go run around. So she's just gonna run, like, come sprinting, gun, like, rifle out, of course, just pointing at anybody basically that's not her friends until she gets over to Sugar, and she's gonna come up, and she's just gonna jab him in the arm with the stim pack.
Okay.
You just get arm poked.
Which arm? It does matter.
This will do. She's not gonna. Is Sugar right or left-handed?
Sugar's right-handed. The left hand has several bullet holes in it.
Then yeah. Well, Peggy knows that they're right-handed and they're a musician, so she's just going for the left, just instinctively of like, don't get the right. Jabs it in. So that's your choice. It's the dilute. It's 4 HP or the whatever. But
no,
yeah,
just because it was broken. It was I had several critical injuries. We're just gonna. Did I die
and then
yet?
she smacks him.
God damn it! I'm not dead yet.
Roll your attack.
Do we?
I know that explosion was your fault somehow.
Wasn't me. I didn't do it.
Yeah, I don't believe that for a day.
Tipper.
Are you okay?
You should need to go help him out. Tipper.
Wait 1 second. I'm resetting my sound. I can tell you guys are calling me. All right.
Tipper,
back.
that must have sparked her ears a little bit, y'all. See, look what you did. You hit. I told you.
He's in bad shape. He needs you.
Got her circuits
He,
fried a
he
little
needs
bit.
me.
He
Yep.
needs some medicinal
Tipper looks
help.
over in the direction that is Sugar just like lying on the ground, basically like
Just
after
leaning
kinda
against a
slept.
shed. There's like blood, at least what you can consider is like ghoul-like blood. It's definitely bitter, if you could call it that.
Coagulated
wall.
a bit.
Uh-huh.
This is interesting because like Sugar is half dead, no, but we're saving him from being half dead, correct?
Full dead.
Yeah, we're saving him from. We don't want him to be full dead.
Yes, we're like Tipper's gonna run over
Stop at the
and
half.
like, well, basically she's like feeling her leg and she's like, okay, this is good. Head over to Sugar and carefully administer the stim pack with gentle care and loving hands.
Sugar will at first, but don't worry, just make sure everyone else is fine. I've been hit by worse.
You shut your mouth and you just accept this attention right now because you need healing. Looks like everybody else is up fighting. Don't you dare.
In my defense, I never look like I'm up fighting, so
If what?
Gun.
If you aren't gonna be attacking, I'm gonna check on my people.
We're not going to attack you so long as you don't attack us. You start this, I'll finish it. How about that?
Ooh.
I can't guarantee that.
Don't.
I
Mortem-
won't be. None of my people will be, but I mean, there's some others that are here. But
Point him out.
I'm working on it. Y'all just tend to yours, and I'm gonna go tend to mine. He kind of like backs. He starts like crawling on his ass, like pushing with one leg, like scooting, because one of his legs is broken. He's just like scooting over. He tries to scoot over to a
real
pile,
slow,
a
just
wood
like-
pile, and then takes a 2x4 and like uses it kind of as a crutch to get up. And he's still like watching you guys, just kind of crutching away.
Marcus, seeing the exchange there, is going to stand up from his rest and follow Big John to talk.
Hmm.
Do it.
sus.
Sus.
Peggy's just watching Marcus. Of course, I mean, at this point, like, Peggy just assumes it's, brother related, or there's a lot. So Peggy's just kind of watching. She definitely still has her gun out and, is like nonchalantly, boom, keeping
Casually?
nonchalant, is keeping her gun kind of ready to pop one off if she has to.
Marcus will holster Winona.
You holster. Peggy's not doing that.
I don't bring her out unless she's going to be used.
Okay, so Ash, Tipper, Sugar,
Yeah.
y'all are kind of all surrounding Sugar, trying to make sure Sugar's
Yeah.
okay. Peggy's keeping an eye on Marcus, who's following Big John.
Yeah, like Ash is like obviously keeping an eye out, but she's definitely trying to make sure that Sugar's like that Tipper's helping Sugar recover.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think he's okay now. I think he's coming back pretty good. Sugar?
Mm.
I can't tell if it's him being normal him or if he's better. I think it's normal him. I think he's fine.
Try to tell him what to do and see what happens.
It's going for money.
Mm.
Mm.
Yeah, he's not mouthy enough. Continuing to train the gun.
Sugar's just chilling. Very, very, not dying at least, but Sugar's tired.
Yeah.
Where's the dog?
Lady's
Bopper-
on Sugar's lap.
Bopper crawls out of the pack and starts trying to crawl over to one of the dead
Yeah,
Scorpion.
no, nobody called you over here.
And
Get gone.
it like takes its claws and breaks off one of the scorpion pincers and starts gnawing on it. And then you can see one of the raiders that's still kind of on the balcony, not shooting at you, but you can see they kind of let out a scream. Oh, what the hell is that?
That's my baby. Look the other direction. Don't you dare.
That's not a baby. That's one of those death claws. What the hell did you do bringing one of the, I mean, I know we've got scorpions in here, but they're trained. What the hell is that?
That's my baby Bopper.
That's her baby.
He ain't trained. And he eats fingers, so I suggest y'all stay up there. See, I told y'all he'd come in handy.
He did say that. She did say that.
Good baby Bopper. You get that scorpion leg.
He's just crunching like it's a crab leg.
Yep. I mean, the same thing, but yeah.
Are we all done here?
Just waiting on Marcus.
Back. So Marcus, as you walk into the building where Big John was headed, and he kind of sees you following behind him, and he's limping. Well, there he is. Thanks for not shooting me again. Shooting at me again.
Don't rush to thank me just yet. I did have a question or two for you before we depart.
I figured you do.
You've been with the Raiders for quite a bit, I take it?
Yep.
You went, have you been running with Scorpius for long, or have you been separate from him and his portion?
Unfortunately, why don't you follow? Can you just give me a second? I think something's fucked up in my knee.
It's not supposed to be pointing that direction. I can tell you that.
Oh yeah, don't look at that. He looks like he's about to vomit. Can you just follow me this way, if you will? And do you follow him?
I do.
Okay, deeper inside this building, you get to a private, and Peggy, you kind of see, you lose sight of Marcus in the building,
Yeah.
but there are people in there, but you follow him and you get deeper inside the building, and there's a room on the back side of this building that is separate. The door is open. It's kind of like, it doesn't have a proper door on it. It has a red shower curtain maybe at some point. It's very old and bits and whatnot are torn away from it. But you go inside and it looks like a living quarters. It has a big steam trunk in it. It has memorabilia and whatnot, all kinds of manner of things inside there. Yeah. This is where kept trophies and all the riches and whatnot, and all the extra loot that we took from people after, all the stuff that he didn't want to sell and all the stuff that he wouldn't let the rest have. I know why you're here.
Do you know what I'm about to ask?
When I joined up with them, I'd lost everything. My whole family, they killed my family, my wife, my kids. Hell, even killed my brother. I had nothing. The wasteland had been mighty cruel to me. I thought the only way to survive, especially after losing everything that I lost, was to become the terror itself. So I joined up with them. Not with the rattlesnakes. They're not the ones that took me down. I found out that they had a rivalry going on with the cowboys. And, well, cowboys are the ones that did this to my family. So I thought, what better way than to join up with the fuckers that fucked up my family, or that were enemies of the ones that did this to my family. And a couple years back, we were doing another job, taking what we wanted from another farm, another family, and it didn't have to. He insisted. I said he had some kind of deal worked out with this higher up chick, some young pretty thing running somebody, the Rangers, the Desert Rangers. And when I saw what we did to that family, it just broke me all over again. And I didn't want to do this anymore. Started distancing myself from him, kind of banded off, started making our own camp, still part of them, still following his orders, had more freedom in it. I didn't want to be killing innocent people like that anymore. We want to survive out here. But I was there. I swear to you, I didn't do it. I didn't kill any of them. I was there though, and I saw what he did, and I didn't do anything to stop it. But it broke me again, because I remember what that felt like.
So you thought it okay to put someone else through that?
I didn't know what we were there for until we were there. I thought we were just getting the tithe again. And then he just took everything.
Was there anyone else here that was there when it happened?
Well, most of them are ash out there in piles. There's some of his people were here. From what I saw, most of them are dead. There's a couple more out there, in some of our other camps, but not really much that I could recollect. It was all so horrible. I really am sorry. I don't know how I got on this path.
Well,
I
I'm
understand
somewhat familiar with the path that you're on, but I'm gonna give you a choice. You want to go out on your own, or do you want me to help you along?
There's some good people here, some of my people here that we don't want to be a part of this life anymore, but there was no getting out, not with him alive. You'll let us get out. I swear to you, we'll be done with this life. Once you're in it, you can't really get out. And now that he's dead, I think we stand a chance before they find another leader, try to get back what they lost.
I think that's admirable, and I hope that they're successful. But I ask you again, how do you want to go out?
I told you I didn't kill any of yours. I wasn't the one.
You were there?
I was there, but I didn't touch anybody. I didn't hurt any of them.
All I need to know is that you were there. I made a promise, and I'm going to keep it. So I'm going to ask you one more time before I decide for myself.
Can you do me a favor? Can you just talk to Melissa? She's just talk to Melissa, make sure she gets everybody else out. Don't hurt the ones that don't want this life, please.
As long
I
as they
understand
don't
what you got.
fight,
I
that's-
understand that you got to do what you got to do, but just don't become what I let myself become. Please don't kill innocent ones out there. Okay, I understand you got to
Well,
do what you
I
got
don't
to
know
do.
how many of them are innocent, but I promise you, if they weren't involved, then I've got no qualm with them. If they leave peaceably, they won't have any issues with me.
Well, all right. And he's going to lay down the 2x4 that was helping prop him up. He'll sit on the ground before you and just bow his head. I'm sorry. And he will not look back up at you and just wait.
Okay. Roll the dice here. See if your guilt tripping me is gonna work or not.
Does Marcus grow a conscience? Coming from the person who helped murder a child.
It was a ghoul. Technically, they were like 107.
Marcus will take out Winona. Step around behind him. And put him to rest.
Does Winona have a silencer?
No, it does not. No, she does not.
You hear from outside, you can hear a gunshot, very loud gunshot ringing through the inside of the building where Marcus just came from. And you can see people that were inside the building start running out of the building, thinking that they are being attacked again.
I mean, Peggy has her gun out, but she's not gonna. I mean, she's just.
Nobody
back.
that's running out of the building is armed. They're just
Yeah,
running.
that's what she's
they
just.
are raiders, but they're running out of the building, freaking out.
Yeah, no, she's just letting people run.
Tiver's going to like look around to see who she can see. When she sees everybody minus Marcus, she just looks over at Peggy, and she's looking at Peggy like, is that Marcus?
Give it a. Yeah. After the people have I think Peggy will stand up and yell, "Make clear of the camp!" And as she's yelling at the people as they're running, and she will go in slowly because she's not sure. No, you
Start
start
staring at them as they're running fast.
Bopper, eat your scorpion,
Yeah.
baby, stop it, eat the scorpion, and then she's gonna
Yeah.
go in.
Terrifying the people even more. They're like, "Oh fuck, what is that?"
Yeah, exactly. Especially after Peggy told everybody he eats fingers.
Yeah.
Peggy will go in slowly because she's not sure what she's walking into.
Mhm.
And she will make her way in until she runs into Marcus.
Is anybody else going with?
I will walk not next to me, but like slightly behind her, just to like with her gun drawn, just to make sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ash is gonna stay next to Sugar to kind of watch and make sure that he's still in a
Smart.
decent
Healing up.
condition. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's gonna probably pass him one of the Viking beers, the last Viking beer that she has on her person. Turns to Sugar.
That's an honor.
Looks like you'll be
That's
needing one of
sexy.
these. And then she hands it over to him.
Sugar will take it, still slumped against the wall, kind of like half holding it in one hand and just letting. You could tell their body's just burnt out, but they're holding to the cans, so they have muscle strength in that arm right now.
She gave it to the good hand. So.
Yeah, the good hand. It's the important part.
Hashtag the good hand. Anyways.
Not the mage hand.
No God.
Oh, the mage hand.
Hashtag mage hand.
So Marcus,
Mhm.
Big John thuds to the floor.
Two questions, things I'd like to do.
Yes.
This was a room. Obviously, was it? It had some of their ill-gotten goods.
Yes, this was. It kind of looks like this would be Scorpius's room.
Gotcha.
It's got all the nice,
Gotcha.
expensive, rare stuff in here.
I'd like to take I assume he has some type of sheet on his bed, a blanket of some sort, and I would like to wrap Big John's body in that. At least give him a burial.
Peggy, as you,
I was going to say, we walk
in.
in and he's
Peggy,
up.
you walk in and you see the body of Big John on the floor, blood, brain matter, and the 2x4, and you see Marcus taking this sheet off the bed to start wrapping him up. And Tipper, you walk as Peggy walks into the door. You are kind of like peeking. You're like in the doorway watching Marcus.
Yeah. I thought
start
you
to
weren't.
roll this guy up.
I thought we weren't.
He was there when it happened.
Fair enough.
You mind getting asked? This guy's kind of big, and I don't mind. I'm not really looking to carry him all the way out.
Yeah, here just a second. What the hell is all?
I was going to get to that. That's the thing I want to look at and see. Do I recognize anything in that room?
Same. Ditto.
On the opposite.
Ditto.
But I would ask Tipper to get Ash because Marcus doesn't want to carry this body out.
Tipper, were you?
She's gonna walk up and say, "Everything okay, Marcus? I guess you handled your business."
It's okay now.
What do you want me to do with this?
If you could get Ash, this is just he had some baggage with him, and I made a promise and I sent him on his way, but I'm gonna bury him. I think that's the least I can do.
So you wanna move the body basically to where you wanna?
Just somewhere outside.
Okay, and Chipper would like to actually pick up the body and put it over.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yes. I mean, I could
like and march out the door.
I could have done it, but I
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
There you go.
and Tipper does have her robot strength, so she can do it.
I'm gonna turn to Peggy and I don't know. It gets me every time. I don't know what it is.
What is all this? Is this his?
This is
If you'd like to spend a luck point, Marcus and Peggy.
Yes.
I have one luck
I
point
will
left.
use one. Yes. Luck.
I will spend my last luck point.
Gone. Let's do this. What are we finding?
Marcus, you find a trinket of your brother's. It might be a hat or some spurs or a belt, or belt buckle, but there's something in here specifically upon your choosing that is specifically your brother's.
Yeah, I like the idea of the belt buckle. I like that.
So there's an ornate belt buckle, big Texas style belt buckle that you recognize as your brother's. Yeah. And Peggy, buried deep in the back on a high shelf, you see an amber colored liquor. Was amber or was it clear liquor?
The general stash. The general stash was amber. The nicer stuff was clear, and that was the.
This one would be the amber colored. But you recognize the shape of the bottle. You see the color of the liquor, before you actually see the label. You can pick it out from anywhere.
immediately goes up and just grabs it off the shelf. I gotta go kick a body real quick. I'll be right back. We also need to look and see if there's anything else of value in here. I'll be right back. Just a second. Peggy will walk out of the building, walk over to Scorpius's body real quick, kick him really freaking hard in the head, and then go and turn around and walk back into the building.
So Ash, you and Sugar see Tipper carry.
Oh.
Oh no!
No, wait a second.
This big
so
burrito.
confusing.
Oh no!
Oh,
jinx it!
Oh no!
Okay,
Hi,
okay,
back.
okay, you're back. You're back.
You're back.
back.
You're going in
You're
and
back.
out.
It's so weird. Okay, sorry about that. Y'all can still see me? No?
Yes, we're good.
Yes. Okay. So Ash and Sugar, you see Tipper carrying this large burrito wrapped up in a sheet with blood dripping down like hot sauce. Carrying this big burrito out of the building, and right as Tipper comes out of the building, you see Peggy rush out and go kick Scorpius in the head, and then march herself right back in. But Tipper's
what
holding
the hell is
his body.
Should I even ask?
It's probably for the
What
best that
hell?
you don't. As Sugar pops the can and just starts drinking, like, that's not my problem.
Marcus wanted me to bring this to you for some reason, Ash, and she just dumps the body at Ash's feet. I don't know
What the hell am I
why.
supposed to do with this?
I don't know. Maybe there's reasons. Maybe he has a reason. I don't know what Marcus's reason for anything he's doing, but he did tell me to bring this to you.
And as she drops the body on the floor, the sheet around the face exposes the face as it's plopped on the floor, and you can see it's the face, the big large head of Big John.
After seeing that, she scratches her head. You should have just told me that to begin with. I could have got that over with 10 minutes ago. Whatever.
I think Marcus wanted to do it himself. I think there was something he needed to do. That's why. I mean, I don't know.
There was no other instructions, but he just wanted me to see this body, or...
I think he just wanted you to see it for yourself.
Great. I guess that's his message. Next time, finish the job. Noted.
So
He's
when
still
Peggy,
in there with Peggy. I don't know what they're doing in there, but they're still in there. I don't think there's any other civilians in there. Although that thing that Peggy's been raising is somewhere here. Usually it surprises me. I'm trying to avoid it. She let it go a few minutes ago.
jumps up and it's just I like the idea that this becomes a game to Bopper, and now they do it just because it bothers Tipper. They actually love Tipper. It's like a secret.
Yeah.
They love Tipper, but just love terrifying her
If Ash
because they
sees
can't
it,
eat her.
if Ash sees the thing pop up and she knows that it eats things, she's just gonna kind of shove the body over, away from her towards Bopper, and because she doesn't know that what she's supposed to do with it, because Tipper didn't say anything else other than just to see the body, so she just pushes it over while she just kind of leans against the wall.
Bopper drops the scorpion claw, looks at the fresh blood, and runs over and starts trying to bite off the nose of Big John. He's got clawed.
Sugar, are you gonna let your kid do that?
I don't have a nose, so I'm not worried. So,
To be fair,
if we get to taste for noses, that doesn't affect me.
So that's where Sugar's nose went. Okay, got it.
So Peggy will come back. Peggy will come back into the room. Find anything?
Oh, well, Marcus, I don't know if he was looking. He was looking for a glass for his. Pull out his bottle of vodka and have a celebratory drink or seven.
Peggy will walk in and see if there's a second. She will pour a little bit of her bottle.
Sure. You will find 2 glasses etched. There's etching on the glasses that says Battle of the Bunker 2077. Sugar's face. Yeah, you find 2 glasses. Yeah.
Nothing special about these.
Cheers. Well, anything else in here you want?
I don't know if to be honest, I don't know if I feel right taking anything else. It's these are families and people's lives that we tore apart.
That's what I mean, is that if we walk away from it, one of these other roach bastards are going to come in here and take it for their own too. I do have a tried and true method of dealing with shit that I don't want to deal with later.
Drink.
Well, yes, but also fire.
That also works.
Don't know if it's dawned on you yet, but yeah, no. Fire.
I like where your head's at.
Just saying, there ain't no hole for him to go back and hide in. If it ain't here.
I suppose just make sure everyone's out and set it ablaze.
I can do that. Is there anything? Okay, but I am gonna hold on to. She like grabs a cup because she doesn't have a glass on her.
Yeah,
I realize
I'm keeping the cup too because
there's not one in my inventory, so like she's definitely stashing.
I've been drinking out of the bottle. I've been drinking out of the bottle. Yeah, I'm gonna take this. Fancy with it.
If there's any kind of like pillow that doesn't look super shitty, Peggy's gonna take that as well and put it under her arm. I'm fucking sick of sleeping on my arms, god damn it. And she's just
a Hello Kitty one.
Yeah, that's fine. She's got a Hello Kitty.
Bow. It's a big pillow. It was in Scorpius' room.
Yeah, she's fucking taking it because she's like, I'm fucking sick of sleeping on the ground. God damn. She just let me know when you're ready to start this shit. I got a Zippo. She pulls her lighter out.
Well, before we start it off, we should probably make sure that no one else is. You're talking about burning the whole thing down, right?
Oh, like everything.
Yeah, we want to make sure no one else is here.
Oh yeah, well that's what I mean. Just let me know when you're done with this room, and then we'll just kind of. I mean, I can start going out right now, and being like, "Oh shit, everything's on fire," and see if who gets out. But
I mean, honestly, I think that might just be the ticket. I mean, if no one leaves that, then
I'm gonna do it. And Peggy will go out the door, and she starts like very nonchalantly walks out the door, and just begins screaming, "Holy hell, there's a fire and there's a death claw eating people's noses. Bopper." We're trying to get everybody out. Bopper, put that down. Go eat that, Scorpion. You stop that. Oh.
He's just got blood running down his little reptilian junk.
No, but they don't even know that. We're trying to get him out of here.
Oh, God.
Do y'all want to try and drink this, by the way? She pulls out her bottle.
Ash, you recognize the bottle.
This is the best. That bastard kept it in his trophy room.
All you.
I mean, I'm going to take my time on it. I don't know when I'll find another bottle.
Are there any, as we exit the building, are there any raiders remaining, or did they all leave after the gunshot?
Do they start running because I'm screaming about death claws and fire?
They were running out after the shot was fired. They were they are currently staying out of the building, kind of like cautiously like watching y'all and trying to gather up things from some of the other buildings, grab up belongings. And you can see that there's a power armor station that's just outside one of the buildings, and somebody is trying to put a fusion core in the power armor, and it's Raider power armor.
Gun out. Excuse me. I need you to step away. After the day we have had, I do not trust a stranger hopping into any kind of power suit.
And as the person turns around and sees you and you see them, you recognize Melissa, who you saved. Pod and Marcus.
That's right.
Hey.
Yeah, Peggy got off in everyone's business about that. That's right.
Hey, you know what? You're good people, right? You ain't trying to kill nobody.
Does Marcus know the name of it? I mean, when he heard it from him, did he? I didn't make connection to.
You remember? I think she told everyone. I think you were all there.
Okay. If seeing her jogs that memory within Marcus,
mm-hmm. She's the one raider that got away. That was not that was trying to run away. That was knocked off the motorcycle.
Hold on, Peggy. I've actually got a message for this one.
Oh, hey, look at you. Your lucky day. I don't know if I'm letting you have that power armor, but he's got a message for you.
You're Melissa, right?
Please don't shoot me.
I wasn't planning on it.
Hey, not really, because last time, I mean,
I didn't even
you ain't dead.
Last time you walked away, didn't you?
I mean, you left me out for dead in the middle of nowhere.
Better than shot.
I mean, to be fair, I know.
I believe I gave you a water. I gave you a water. I never drew my gun on you.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm not planning on doing that now, although I don't think you should be making a move for that power armor anytime soon. But Big John gave me a message for you. Well, I don't remember so much a message, but it was just he said to make sure you were okay and that you could gather all these people up and lead them away from the life choices that you all have made.
I thought he was fine.
His leg took him.
He is not fine. He is dead.
And you can see it like it kind of register on her face, and she kind of has a little bit of a look of fear, but also almost a hint of understanding, looking at you.
What do you need to get out of here with these people?
Just, I'll leave the power armor, but
you got what, 20 minutes? Does that work for you? Get your stuff, go.
Yeah, we just need to grab some of our clothes and at least some food, maybe some protection. I promise we won't use anything on you.
That's
you can keep your weapons and armor you got on, but no more. Food, water, whatever you need to take after that, and your belongings you can grab. But if we ever see you again and you're following this path again, you see what happened here.
Yeah, I'll drag your happy ass in for a bounty real quick. I'm a little short on change.
No bounties. No, I don't want to stay far away from the Desert Rangers. They're as fucked up as these people were here. So
we took them out too.
Well, not all of them.
Yeah, don't mess with us. Long story short, we're fixing shit.
She kind of like looks over in the distance, and she sees your little reptilian friend just.
Oh yeah, that too.
No, it's simple life for us from now on. Promise.
We are traveling around with a death claw, a super mutant, a ghoul, and like an answer.
I hate to yeah, you've got an interesting group, and you've got people in the sky. Is that you?
Yeah,
actually, that was that blue-haired one over there.
That's right. And tell all your friends about that. Death from above.
Okay. No. We'll stay out of your hair and everyone else's.
And the legend grows.
And Ash, meantime, is like looking around like.
Legendary fighters and lovers, apparently.
Kind of looks at Peggy like.
Throughout this conversation, Marcus is continuing to pour himself drink after drink.
Peggy has only had the one.
Marcus has not.
Ash does look longingly at the Viking bear, and then she's like she made the right decision, so she kind of looks away, but then kind of takes the glance over where Sugar is like drinking, and she's just like, because it's her last one, so she's a little sad, but she knows that he needs it more than she should.
Ash, as Lady drags the guitar case over, I see you looking, pops open the case, opens one of the compartments. I always saved it one just in case, and tosses you one of the, it's cooler than the others because it's in a little cooled container, if you will, thermal packaging.
Appreciate it. Where do you keep finding this stuff?
I'm pretty lucky. What can I say?
After she kind of huffs at luck, she pops the top off of the can and then she starts drinking as well.
Peggy's just gonna walk away. You got this handle. She's just gonna go sit next to Sugar and kind of like kick his foot and then just sit there.
It's important to know which foot did you kick.
Whichever side's not critically
great.
wounded.
Okay.
She
Peggy's
kills him.
attentive enough to not kill Sugar.
Sugar's pretty bad right now. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm alive, but I'm wounded.
Yeah. No, she's just gonna sit next and like just do the I'm here attention thing and then sit there and kind of
Marcus is going to kind of follow them into the building, make sure they don't murder us. And then once he sees them they're just grabbing their stuff. I would head back to Scorpius's room and look around the non-trophy area. If I can differentiate between trophies and not trophies.
Okay.
And I'm looking specifically for anything that might be of interest. Hair, like some type of shampoo, conditioner, a
Scorpius
brush.
is bald.
A brush. Fucker. All right. Well.
However,
Sure.
there would be some Ivory Spring bar soap.
Oh, yeah. I'll take that. Yeah.
2 bars
done in
of
there
that.
yet? Like Peggy's sitting there flipping the Zippo. I'm ready to make fire.
And if I don't see anything else of note that's useful or
No, you would, there would be a, one missile launcher.
Jesus Christ. I don't think I want anyone to have that.
I think Sugar needs that one because he's the only one lucky enough to not murder everyone with it.
I don't.
Tipper's a really good aim, y'all.
Oh yeah.
Tipper would blow everything up.
But didn't
Tipper
we like
and
get blown
Sugar.
off the side of the building? So that means that
Yeah, but did you die though?
Is there any?
it
is there
wasn't
any
a
ammunition?
missile
Ammo
launcher.
for the missile launcher.
No ammo? No
There's
ammo?
Only
Okay.
the missile launcher.
If I will say,
God.
if you give Sugar a missile launcher, Sugar will find ammo.
That's
Yeah,
what
that's
I'm
right.
like, no.
It is
That's right.
true.
Well, if I bring it out, you guys are gonna know I can't hide this. So
Yeah,
It
you
really
can't
can't
have
be
that
like-
shit.
What's that big old stick? It's a 2x4.
yeah.
Boom,
Yeah,
boom,
what?
stick.
It's just like Marcus, you look a lot more happy.
Well, see, yeah,
Did what you did.
seeing Tipper lift all that heavy stuff just gets you going.
It was like, did you want us to feed it to Bopper? Yes, no.
Tipper didn't even tell me what you wanted with the body.
I stopped him from eating him if it makes you feel any better.
Was that
Does it make you feel any
the
better?
only thing of note was the missile launcher?
You would have found so the missile launcher, but no missiles, as well as 3 baseball grenades.
Ooh, gimme.
Uh,
I'm good with those. gimme.
2 Nuka-Cola. Let's see.
Yeah, that is one of my tag skills, by the way. Just in case y'all did not know that, explosives is a thing that Peggy's quite good at.
Ooh.
Marcus, as he leaves the room, will handle all 3.
And 325
Call
cap.
me Jinx.
Ooh, love it.
But there are a bunch of
Okay.
trinkets and whatnot around the room, and trophies, and just different various like an old pre-war radio, an old pre-war TV. There's just a bunch of knickknacks and baubles. And,
I am. Got some explodes.
And as the last of the raiders are clearing out and everyone is taking their stuff and they are starting to hit the road, Sugar, just out of the corner of your eye, one of the raiders is carrying a bag, a case, actually. A very familiar case to you, one that you haven't seen in a long time. A bass guitar case with stickers on it.
Lady, fetch. And Lady is going to immediately like bite at this person's ankle. Not hard enough to just enough to grab the pant leg.
What? Get off of me! Get!
And then
They're
lady
trying
like
to kick out.
stops, looks, and then turns and like it does like that dog point towards Sugar. You. Come here.
I didn't do nothing. I swear. What?
I think he asked you to come here.
You're fine. Just come here.
She kind of looks over at Melissa. Melissa kind of gives her a nod. What?
And Sugar kind of like starts to try to use the wall to get up. Anyone noticing Sugar's somehow right leg just is not cooperating. Kind of hops.
Ash would give him like her shoulder or her like her arm to kind of like brace, like for him to brace himself up. Like
I was about to say Peggy. Yeah, Peggy's right there. He's got dual support. He looks like a pimp right now. He's got dual support.
Except like he's kind of like, well, no, 'cause Sugar's taller, right? No, Sugar is what?
Sugar's like 6 foot.
Oh yeah, so it's like it's not that big of a difference. 6'3", 6 foot. You're close to where she's at.
Getting this like this case have like a bunch of stickers on it, kind of things. That case. Where'd you get it?
Well, it used to be my mama's, and before that, it was, I think, somebody in our family or something. Somebody got it off of somebody somewhere down closer back to, Dallas area, but I don't really quite recollect. It's just been in my family, and we just keep use it to carry stuff.
How long it's been in your family for?
I think my mom had it, and then my mom's daddy had. I think. I don't know. We've had it for a while. It's terrible. It's in horrible mess of a state, but I mean, it gets the job done when I need to carry stuff around.
What's in it?
Just my belongings, my food and water, and some of my extra clothes. Got some ammunition in there, but I need it. So I need it.
You're gonna find a new bag.
Okay.
Sugar,
okay.
what do you need this?
You either find a new bag or everything in there's mine too. Otherwise,
I can find something. I just please don't take my stuff.
We're not gonna. We'll get it. Just go grab you a bag. Be all right.
Okay. She will run off and go look.
What do they look like?
The person running.
Yeah.
It's a younger raider. She's got like really tanned colored skin with light brown hair, a smattering of freckles, but she and a little bit of sunburn. Like she's got the peeling of the skin going on, but she's fairly young. She looks like she might be early 20s, late teens, possibly.
Immediately, I'm gonna do a deeper assessment of all the stickers to make sure if this case does indeed look like, or if it just happened, if it is, or if it looks like a case I remember.
Yeah, looking at it, it looks very weathered. It looks very old. It is falling apart. And once you flip open the case, the velvet lining on the inside, and there's just a faint smell, a faint hint of smell, familiar smell from the lining that wafts into your missing nose.
Just wafts into my front of face, yes.
Yeah, your front of face. It's very familiar and very hits home.
Sugar's gonna kind of let themselves drop towards the ground to be with this case, and it's gonna stand by until this female raider comes back.
And looking inside it, there's not a bass guitar in there. It's just like the person said. It's clothes, food, ammo, random stuff. They do eventually come back with a pillowcase and see that you've opened the case. You can take anything that you need inside of it, but I just need the food and stuff, for my sister.
What's your name?
Jill.
Sister?
My sister?
What's her name?
Mary. You just leave her out of this. She's a good kid. I've been looking after her since her parents passed. Please,
You said this has been in your family. The person who you recall had it, your grandparent or whatever. What was their name?
we grew up in their life of the Raiders. I just know they took it off somebody sometime. I don't know when.
Get your
My
stuff.
mama's
name was Vera.
And then Sugar will close it, latch it, keep the case, and we'll like push it away and just kind of fall backwards, trying to stand up and failing.
Ash will try to kind of because she's seeing this interaction and she doesn't know what's going on, but if seeing him do that, she's going to try to help him ease down into a seated position.
And like uncharacteristically, Sugar kind of like shakes you off to make sure he can fight off being helped, and just falls to the ground. Just leave me be, and we'll actually let themselves crawl away, trying to hobble.
Okay. Just help him. And then she's just whatever. She backs away and she just takes a swig of her Viking beer and just.
Peggy
looks
just
away.
lights one up. You're fine, kid. So somebody up in Dallas is where they got that? So where they got your case there? She's talking to the person, not Sugar.
Oh.
Not Sugar. Sugar's down.
I mean, that's where. Yeah, I mean, that's where my mom and my family, we, the camp that we used to stay at was over there, and then we got separated from them. They got killed in one of the raids, and then we got put up here for more protection since we were so young.
Where'd you find your sister?
My sister's been with me.
You said that her parents got
I'm
killed
taking care
too?
of her. No,
Yeah.
we're blood sisters.
Oh.
She's not we're kin. I've always been with her, even when our parents died.
How old does this person look? Like early 20s-ish?
She looks late teens, early 20s.
Well, you take care of her then. And Peggy will she kind of briefly reaches into her pocket and goes to shake hands with the girl.
What's your friend want with my bag? Did I do something wrong?
As her hand hits my Peggy hands her 15 caps. Take care of her. No, Sugar's a rough one to understand. He's been around for a long time and he's seen a lot of things. Just take care of that bag and take care of your sister.
Thank you.
I lost mine a long time ago. So.
I'm sorry.
It's all right. I've made my peace. Don't be doing this stupid shit.
Yeah, we didn't choose this life. We grew up in it.
Do better.
Yes, ma'am.
Y'all be safe.
Thank you. She will pocket the caps and pick up the case and kind of look back over at Sugar. And then walk and meet back up with her sister and the rest of the Raiders. Ex-Raiders. Gang. Not gang.
I mean, we keep killing people and pretty soon our mascot's just going to be a death claw, you guys. It's going to happen.
Is there anything else in particular you wanted to do in this camp as the people are leaving
Mhm.
Once they're gone and everyone gives the go ahead and Marcus gives the go ahead, Peggy's lighting it up.
Well, before we burn it all down, should we stay here for the night and leave in the morning?
Probably. Because does that mean I get to start a fire tomorrow then?
Yeah.
It's therapeutic. I'm telling you, you will understand tomorrow. It is the shit. And she will go take a seat and pour a little bit into her glass, and just a little bit. She's not drinking hardcore. She's just enjoying just like a little bit of a flavor. And she's just giving sugar their space and just casually waiting for them to come out when they feel ready to do so.
Marcus, once the decision was made to stay the night, we'll find a digging implement of some sort. I don't know if he has a shovel.
Oh yeah, you could probably find a shovel, pickaxe, something around here.
I will dig a hole.
Dig a hole.
For Big Johnson sized hole.
A Big Johnson sized
Lil
hole.
Johnson.
Big Will Johnson.
Big Lil Johnson. Okay, so yes.
Sugar will be working with some wood and metal, doing some type of welding and small construction object. Noticeably not standing, kind of like kneeling on one side the whole time, working on something.
You need help?
No.
I can volunteer tipper.
Funny.
I thought
No.
so.
I just need to get this thing made.
Okay.
Okay.
You let me know if you need help.
Yeah. What did he see over there that's making him act so different than normal, weird? Peggy.
And like kind of quietly saw that guitar case. They'll explain when they're ready.
Does Tipper ask does that Tipper whisper, or is Tipper doing the Tipper volume of things?
No, Tipper's doing the Tipper volume all the time, okay?
Okay.
I love it.
Got it. That's the baseline.
Cool. Yeah.
The case, it used to be from our band.
Realization across Peggy's face. Was it theirs?
Oh.
Everything says it was.
We could have got it for you.
Yeah. Why did you just let them walk away?
What's the point of holding on to a dead memory?
Because that's where your heart is. I don't want to let go of mine. The good ones, at least.
I sat with this a lot longer than you've been alive.
I know.
And as Sugar still semi-working on the thing, you'll notice that it's seemingly like a makeshift crutch.
Did something happen to your Sugar? Do you need extra healing?
I don't think it's going to heal this time.
What?
That doesn't sound very lucky.
About time though, right?
Well, I don't think so, god damn it. What about that what about that power armor? Is there any, Tipper, can you
Yep.
Can we
It's fine. I tried using the stim pack on my leg, but kind of turns out being a ghoul makes healing not as effective as it should be. My flesh is weaker, my bones are weaker.
So what does that mean? Does that mean you're...
And the Sugar kind of takes this makeshift, not complete, but like is putting padding on. Just means life decided I was too good to not have a little bit of a handicap against it, right?
Of course you'd think that. Stubborn ass.
Takes one to know one, right?
That's why you love me. And she's just going to turn around and walk away.
I think this one just needs time.
Prop up.
Well, all right. I mean, don't put yourself in the front lines of fire here, because we didn't know that you had this slow healing thing.
It normally heals pretty well, but I just don't think I'm in the right mind for my body to follow suit.
Well, will it help to like rest here tonight or something? I can get the others and Marcus's dead body, and we can just, I guess, camp out here for the night or something.
That's up to you guys.
I do have a new pillow. As she pulls out the Hello Kitty pillow. I took 2 things from Asshole's estate. That was my bottle and this. It's pretty big. You can share it. And she's trying to make him laugh or make them laugh.
Just some rest will do, and I just need time.
We all do.
And you're drinking from your glass still, right?
Yeah, she's got her glass out.
Oh, okay. And I'm finally actually looking at Peggy. It's hard to tell, but you do see like a very viscous, ghoulish fluid flowing from the eyes. I guess I'm gonna keep finishing this so I don't hold you guys back too much. And then turns to try to finish working on this makeshift crutch.
Rock to the back of the head. Like a little pebble, like bink. You're not holding anybody back.
I thought you put him out of his misery. He's lame.
Put your head in my lap.
She kicks his ass.
Like a concussion.
Like a whole pebble. Sugar's unconscious now.
Put your head in my lap. Just think about tomorrow, the birthday party.
Close
What
your
happened the
eyes.
last time you put somebody's head in your lap? It was cool.
Oh no. Oh, poor Timmy. No, just
Poor Timmy.
Justice for Timmy. Ash will go over to Marcus. Wherever Marcus is, and she'll be
Probably
like,
would not have gotten far from where the body is because he doesn't move it too far after digging the hole.
Wait, how much was eaten by the thing?
Just like
Mama just ate off the nose and some of the lips,
okay.
and ripped off one or the ears.
looks a lot like Sugar, but less pretty.
so she goes up to Marcus. Who would have thought that they would become weirder than Tipper?
Who's that now? Who's weirder? Who is weirder than Tipper?
Them. And then Ash points in the direction of Sugar and Peggy.
Yeah, as Bopper is probably playing with the pincer still. Peggy's throwing a pebble at yeah, it's a scene.
I mean, you got that one who's trying to catch fire to everything. You got that whatever that thing is, and then you got Mr. Moody over there. So,
Well, I'm sure they got their reasons. Peggy just always seems to be fascinated by fire.
yeah, I thought they would be a little bit more normal than Tipper, though. But no.
They are traveling. They are traveling with us. So I don't know how normal they're gonna be.
Different point. So, did you resolve all the things you needed to resolve?
I think so. I hope so. I don't often say this, but I do want to say thank you for your help. I don't know that I would have been able to get here without you.
kind of, eh. What we do.
I return the sentiment.
So you need help because you really aren't making a dent.
God, yes. This isn't the shovel's defective because it's like I don't know, but it's just not transferring the dirt like it should, I don't think.
Yeah, it's the shovel's fault for sure.
I don't know what else it could be. I mean, it's not big enough for Big Johnson, I can tell you that much.
Tee-hee.
And then you might want to step back.
Taryn, no, never mind.
Like she's kind of like joking, like it's gonna be like that big, like it's like she's about to do.
Marcus is just staring now, slowly drinking his bottle. She goes down on this hole.
She's just going. She's going.
Wraps her fists around the shovel.
Sweat dripping down.
Yeah. Best day
side
ever.
Of the neck.
Best ever. And you got your Irish spring soap.
Yeah.
Muscles flexing ever so gently.
She sure doesn't skip leg day.
Tell me about it.
Welcome, Raiders. Welcome, Raiders.
Diesel Shot knows all about the Fallout shenanigan wasteland craziness. Yeah, we're playing it.
Welcome
right now.
to Vault After Hours, starring Ash and Marcus, Mr. Marcus.
Starring
What
Mr.
happened?
Big Little Johnson.
Marcus.
When the vault goes dark, we know what bombs about start dropping.
Oh no.
Cash was born.
It'll be a little blue-haired Ash with a really bad attitude.
And a drinking problem.
We don't know which one those came from.
Impossible to tell.
Oh Lord, y'all are funny. Yeah. So y'all dig your hole, and eventually everyone and Sugar works on their makeshift crutch, and you all eventually find it starts to get dark. The Raiders have gone, and you are able to take over the camp, and you can find different rooms or the same area to bunk up together and for the night. And I hate that we just got raided and we're ending the stream. So thank you all for coming, tuning in tonight to this episode of Vault. We have been waiting so long to be back, but we are going to take next week off. Some of us have some prior engagements, but after that we will be back to our weekly schedule, where you can watch us every Monday night at 6:30 p.m. Pacific here on the Initiative Order, where we are going to be finalizing this campaign soon. Oh, by the way, level up. All of you level up. So
Thank goodness. I earned it.
Oh my goodness, that's awesome.
So we get to level up to level 10. So
Level 10.
You get
Just
an
in time to go kill my husband.
Yep. Oh, she's admitting it, that it is her. It is technically
Well,
her.
Apparently
I
I don't know my last name though. I don't know it though. It's fine.
FOX.
Nope.
Yes, but we will be reading some of our friends after this that I think are still playing Fallout 76. So stick around for that. My name is April Hill. You can find me at stiletto_assassin on Instagram, stiletto DM on Twitter, and of course here every Monday night at 6:30 p.m. Except for next week. Thanks, Diesel Shot. We're playing Fallout in the Wasteland using the 2D20 system by Modifius. Ash, what about you?
Hi guys, I am Utahime. I'm a cosplayer, streamer, and TTRPG performer. You can catch on the social medias at Utahime Cosplay, Facebook, Instagram, here on Twitch, where I occasionally stream on my own channel, and also Brianna DaCosta on Twitter. You can catch me this week on that_D'Angelo's channel for the continuation of our D&D political spicy drama over there for our D&D session, and that's at 5 p.m. Pacific time on that underscore D'Angelo for Tayar. And then, yeah, you can catch me here on every Monday except for next week for Vault, 6:30 Pacific time. And then also too on DM underscore Screenies channel next Tuesday for our continuation of Ecrium Expeditions. And that's at 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Eastern time. And yeah, that's all for now.
Okay, Sugar Cyrus, what you got?
Sugar Cyrus is who I play, but you can call me Jay Casual. Find me on social media at Just2Casual and Casual Creativity over on Twitch. Writer, streamer, all around entertainer, storyteller, and currently writing my own TTRPG anime-inspired Deep Breath, where the old world of magic is in conflict with the new world of technology. You can also find me all over the place doing all kinds of things where I will be playing on the Initiators Far Realms. I just did my Deep Breath playtests here on the Initiators, so you can see that on VOD and eventually on YouTube. I will also be on other people's channels, including DM Screening, and also Creators Assemble, Agent of Nyx will be coming back, not this Friday, but next Friday, I believe, will be the next episode where we do more awesome, high-leveled, high-powered, ridiculous stuff, because when I'm involved, anime is the only way to go, and I have a Protex, problem. I'm sorry, it's who I am.
And we love you for that. It's great.
Yay!
Yay! Peggy Sue.
Howdy, y'all. Taryn Hackett, also known as Val Rook across the socials, a generally creative human, TTRPG performer, and GM and Eldritch entity, feeding off of my players suffering in Far Realms, a Cult Divinity Lost homebrew here on the Initiative Order every other Sunday, where I lead a group of lost souls through mind-bending realities. Beyond that, I am also on DM Screening's channel, as well, playing a Hexblood Druid because it's fun. And then, of course, every Monday here when we're not having off days, that's a thing. And I'm a dice maker under Umbral Oculus Dice, handmade dice, UO_dice on the Instagram. I have a shop update coming soon. I have a few sets left in stock currently at super discounted rates because of when I'm gone. But yeah, do the thing in the follows and stuff. Help.
All right, Mr. Marcus Cole, Slayer of the Innocent. Just kidding.
Yeah. Innocent.
Hashtag.
Yeah. Justice for
there are two members of our party who already have claimed the title. I
need Johnson Liberty.
It's already been claimed. My name is Justin.
Oh wait, wrong one.
I do play Mr. Marcus Cole, who did end Mr. Big Johnson's life.
Mr. Big
Deservingly,
Johnson.
maybe not. I don't know. Who knows? Tune in, I guess, in
Morally
2 weeks to see if Marcus can convince anyone to wash their hair with them.
And will it be Tipper? I don't know. Tipper.
Hey, everybody. Oh my God. Thank you for bearing with me with my almost losing my voice self. I appreciate it. My name is Alicia Marie. You can find me at Alicia Marie Body on all socials whatsoever. I am a costume artist.
I saw the naked mannequin in the background earlier, and I was like, Marcus, Peggy, look at me.
And RPG performer. I like role-playing games and tabletop games in general. These people are my peeps. We've been playing together for a long time, and we always have fun doing it. So thank you to Initiative Order, and thank you all of us for tuning in, and everybody who rated and stayed. I appreciate you hanging out for our insanity. This week, let's see, I have a lot of things coming up, so my socials will find out, but this week is another installment of Calix the Embruado, it's a Call of Cthulhu sort of, game adapted.
Yes.
Yes. Having fun with that. So tune in and Thema. See you guys not next week, the week after for this one.
Yes. All right. Well, thanks again, everybody, again for the raids and for the love and for, of course, our wonderful players, my friends. But yeah, so until next time, get a little wasted, show a little love to one another, and let's go raid some of our friends. Bye, y'all.